Hi everyone, and welcome to Baldur's Gate Framed, episode 11. We are thrilled to be streaming at twitch.tv/DND and twitch.tv/Adventurers Wanted, and you are joining us for an evening of Dungeons and Dragons. Obviously, this is a bit different from what we usually do. We're used to sitting around a table, everyone playing together. But I'm afraid global pandemics have made it safer and better for us all to be in this position for now, which is how we will be playing here at Adventurers Wanted for the foreseeable future. So this is new to us. We are trying to learn how all these pieces fit together. If at any point you want to throw some advice on the chat, please do. Anything we can do to make this as clean and smooth and elegant as possible, obviously. That's what we're trying to do here. So, what are we doing? We are playing Dungeons & Dragons. For those who aren't aware of what Dungeons & Dragons is, we are playing a tabletop role-playing game where all of the different people in the different windows play characters in a unique fantasy universe, all shared in the same storytelling environment, and I play the rest of the environment. I'm the Dungeon Master, so I'll be playing all of the enemies they face in this last final encounter they're slowly building their way towards, yes. And I will also, most famous to be playing the weather patterns. I think that's the one we've all agreed is the thing I'm most famous for, is the weather. So there'll be lots of weather today, everybody. You'll be pleased to know. And while everyone else plays their characters and has digital character sheets in front of them so they know what they are doing, they'll roll dice, most often a 20-sided one, like this one here, to see how well they achieve something they try and attempt. And together we will use all those pieces to tell a story for your delectation. Yes, so we're in chapter 11 of Baldur's Gate Framed, and we're halfway through a combat session, helpfully. So please bear with us as we try and pick up all of those pieces and jump back together. Before we do, let's go round the virtual table and meet everyone in case you're not aware of who they are. So, starting with... I'll do it one by one. Can you please give your name, your pronouns, your character's name, their pronouns, and the current situation they find themselves in? That could be practical as well as emotional. Shamini, let's start with you.
Hi, my name's Shamini. I use she, her pronouns, and so does Shakti. And Shakti's like feeling really calm because they're possibly going to die and be in a big fight, but like she feels like she has control over, she's going to blast people, and everyone's giving her lots of pep talks, and she's like, you know what? I can do this. Hopefully.
Excellent. Steve?
Hello, I'm Steve. I use he, him pronouns, as does Abernathy Whistlepocket, my character, who has had a bit of a time recently. He basically lost all his wisdom and thought he was nigh on a god, and then refound all his wisdom and thought, oops. So he was very sorry to everyone, and now is in the middle of combat, which is where you want to be when you're dealing with all that emotion.
Anna.
Hello, my name is Anna Brookie. I use she, her pronouns, as does Lilith Royer, my character. She is currently probably just amazed at the fact that she could do a fireball, because I got that spell recently soon, and that was quite fun. However, still very far away from her own fiancés, and still just doesn't understand the weird three-dimensional realm of a painting that she's currently stood in. Thanks, Ed.
Cool. Hello, my name is Jaya Baldwin. I use he, him pronouns, as does my character, Cohen Teagueville. The wonderful green tiefling with two swords who's currently standing with said swords right next to the face of danger. And he's currently, he's a bit bemused as to why everyone cares this much about this random painting place we just fell into, but he can see that they all care very much about saving it, so he cares too. He's going to do his best.
Well, right now it's like we're all going to die, so I mostly care about that. Like,
now, yes.
And they're like after us.
But
Ed.
It's already dead.
My name is Edward Cartwright, and I play Viorica Yordash, who was supposedly the brains behind this whole operation, but has proved himself to be thoroughly not. Brain. I don't know if that's it, yeah. But also, we are in, I don't know what we called it. It was like a Jackson Pollock painting or something like that. That was the idea. I thought this would be useful for ambush purposes, but so far it hasn't really actually helped that much. So Viorica is sitting, standing there, trying to hide, clutching a knife, ready for anything or try.
Well, don't worry, Ed. Part of my job now will be describing the crazy 3D nightmare environment you placed everyone in, so that's my job.
My apologies, I thought it would be helpful. It hasn't been yet.
Always a good start. Before we kick off, this stream will run for approximately 3 hours with a 5 to 10 minute break somewhere near the middle. And as always, we are proud to be sponsored by two amazing sponsors, Ultra Pro, who do wonderful dice bags and D&D peripherals, including the Xanathar dice bag. We've been giving these away as part of the stream. So if you'd like, join us on the Twitch chat and just say something nice ideally, and you'll be entered into a competition where you can win this. Now, we've been naming all of these, and the group decided that this one was called Berry Berry. Berry Berry. Is that right? I'm getting nods. Yeah, good.
Berry.
So if you'd like to win Berry Berry, who I promise before being sent will be sanitized heavily, please just join in on the Twitch chat and say hello, and you'll be in with a chance to win. UK address holders only, please. We are also sponsored by D&D Beyond, a digital toolset for Dungeons and Dragons. And frankly, when was there ever a better time for a digital toolset for Dungeons and Dragons? Everything is on there, all of the books, all of the information, categorized very nicely in a rules compendium as well. I'm also using some of their technology to run encounters and things like that. They're fantastic. Head to D&D Beyond, check them out. And yes, there's a Twitch extension, I believe, over here. I'm not sure. I might be a mirror. It's hard to tell. But yes, there is a Twitch extension on the side of the screen. Please take a look at it, and you can see everyone's digital character sheets there as well. Finally, we play with a diverse set of players who play a diverse set of characters with wide-ranging sexual and gender identities. Our tables are trans-positive and we encourage and champion trans players and characters in our games. The DM and players may portray characters that are of a different gender to their own, and if any misgendering happens, we have a policy for correction, but just in case we miss anything, do let us know on the chat or message us or let us know areas where we can improve. We're always looking to improve. Grand. Without further ado, let's begin this final countdown. And welcome back. Right.
Doesn't look so good on the screen.
Where were we? Thank you, Ed. Where were we? So, and apologies if this is confusing. All 5 of our characters are currently in an ovoid space with various holes in reality in it that you can leap in and out of and appear to be showing the same space repeated. So at this point, it is a bit of a mindfuck as to what people can do, where they can go, what they can see. In this space with them are their long-standing enemy, the Death's Head of Baal, a very large female character with a red skull, occasionally superimposed over her own face. With her is an ally, a Master of Souls, a adherent of Merkul. And in the same space is a rather peculiar figure, an artist changed, destroying this paint world they find themselves in for their own purposes. Another adherent to this cult of the 3 dead gods, and their name is Kindle. They have some allies, some ghouls made of paint with them. And just to reinforce, in case anyone wasn't sure of the whole setup here, this whole universe, this demi-plane they find themselves in, is made of paint. It is the godlike plane of the god Milil, and Milil has been trying to get these characters to help them clear this space of this strange painter. I would strongly advise checking out on YouTube everything that's come up to this point to try and make sense of that, because at this point in time we are diving straight into the combat that has just kicked off, as all of the characters prepared themselves in this space, waited for all of their enemies to enter, and then sprung a surprise attack on them with fireballs flying off left, right, and center. Most of the ghouls now caught in a hypnotic pattern that is causing them to be stupefied and not being able to help. And it was the Master of Souls of Merkul who unfortunately got the brunt of all of this, who is currently taking a lot of damage and has been slowed down. Well done, everybody. So, at the top of initiative, in this space, the Death's Head of Baal, Cohen has just run up to her, swords flexed out at the sides, trying to appear as big a target as possible. She has avoided some damage from what you have done and is taking in the situation around herself, including this strange dimension. And the first thing she does is make an intelligence roll. She is very confused about this whole situation, doesn't quite know how to process all of this in one go. So it's just going to lash out at the target in front of her, which is Cohen. So,
fine. This is fine. It's probably fine.
Cohen, as you run towards her, she is going to turn and look at you, and her face once again superimposes slightly, and the red skull of Baal is suddenly all you can see. Her features completely obscured, or maybe this is what her head actually looks like, and her features are superimposed on top. You don't know, you can't tell. But as she stares at you, can you please make me a wisdom saving throw?
Oh, no.
First roll of the day.
This is how it's
Oh,
boy.
no.
Oh!
As you run forward and as you catch her horrible, gaunt, almost bloodied skull expression, you are stunned. And as you are stunned, she steps in and attacks you with her dagger twice, just going for very quick, sharp cuts, trying to hurt you very badly. Now, you are stunned, which means that I believe...
Advantage, no?
Advantage. You're incapacitated. Attack rolls have advantage. Okay. And Cohen, until her next turn, you can't take actions or reactions, most importantly.
Yerp, that's correct.
Yerp, that is what has happened.
I don't really have any reactions anyway, so that's fine.
Right. So she is going to make her attack rolls against you with her dagger.
The only tank we have is currently getting slapped. This is bad.
Correct.
What it's there for, isn't it?
The first attack is a 13, Cohen. Does that hit you?
No, it does not.
The first dagger skips off your strange waistcoat that actually appears to have more armor behind it than anything else, which, as discussed before, Cohen wears a breastplate which looks like a waistcoat.
It's like when you step on someone's toes and realize they have steel toe caps on their shoes, but it's a waistcoat.
The second attack is a non-natural 20.
Yeah, that does hit, sadly.
Cool. You take 12 points of piercing damage. This strange aura around her making her dagger seem sharper and more effective somehow as she leans in and manages to... The first strike skips off the front of you, but the second digs deep under, and you're stunned and can't react and can't do anything, as she's going to maneuver herself slightly, using your body as a shield, if you will, so that you are basically between her and the rest of the party.
Great start. Yep. Excellent.
Yep. Oh. The Master of Souls next to her looking on in some confusion, but trying to do the best that he can. Cohen, it is your turn. You are stunned. You can take no actions. Abernathy.
Is the Master of Souls not they? What best that they can?
Master of Souls is they. My apologies. Thank you, Shamini. Cohen, you are stunned. There's nothing you can do. You are stunned until the end of your next turn, so actually you now have actions and reactions back, but it's not your turn. Abernathy, you've just seen this happen. Kindle and the paint ghouls on the other side of you are slightly further away. What would you like to do as the situation starts to get messy?
The first thing I think Abernathy does is kind of reaches out a hand, and it was a rainbow effect of kind of inky paint. Streams towards Cohen, and that is obviously a healing word.
Excellent.
Which gives you 8 points of healing back.
Thank you very much.
That's your
You
bonus
are
action.
more than welcome.
You still have action and movement.
For my action, I'm going weird.
Ooh.
So Abernathy remembers that when we had our long rest, I cast Minor Illusion.
Yes, you did.
And Milil made it permanent because they liked it. Out of game, this has also happened with one of Lilith's. So Abernathy's going to try that. And he's going to cast a Minor Illusion. Is there a 5 foot? Is there? Because I know it's a bit difficult in melee combat. Would I be able to do something around the Death's Head?
What's the range on Minor Illusion?
30 feet.
Yes, then you are within 30 feet of them. Of her. You are very welcome to create a Minor Illusion around her.
Well, we'll see if it works. And as he's doing this, he will be like, Milil, I hope you like this. I think this is a very good bit that you could curate and just keep if you'd like. And out of the ground, bursting out of the ground around the Death's Head and interlocking, kind of twining around her, are chains, like long watch chains that blossom at the top into kind of slightly darly, melty pocket watches, so opening up like Venus flytraps. And I would like them kind of to actually circle her and kind of block her off.
Cool.
With a slight, please make this bloody real.
Isn't this going to affect Cohen as well?
This one, I checked whether I could get her.
Just her, I see.
I will say that she has magic resistance, so I will allow her to roll against this effect if it is permanent at all, and we will then see what happens from there. So I'll make a Dex saving throw. What is your spell save DC, Steve?
That is a very good question, and I am going to tell you the answer.
This is such a cool idea.
15.
Where is Milil's not here?
Milil's not here.
But
the chains all like curl into shape around the Death's Head, and you don't know if they are solid or just an illusion. You're not sure what's happening at this point, but the Death's Head sees this happening, and quick as a flash, taking Cohen with her, combat rolls out of the way, still held in place. Technically, Cohen, because you're technically no longer stunned, you do have an attack of opportunity as part of this move, because it's all movement. I'm going to allow that. But she's not affected by these chains, Abernathy. And you don't know if they are real or not. You don't know. No way of knowing.
But they're still in the same place.
They're still in the same place, just whether they're illusory or not, and it's hard to tell.
Cool. Well, heck yes, I'll take my attack of opportunity.
Do it.
If nothing else, you got that out of it.
Yeah.
That is a 17.
How much?
17.
17 breaks her AC.
Boom, boom.
Nice.
And that's 10 damage.
10 damage. Yeah. As she rolls with you, and as you go with her, you suddenly shake off this feeling of being stunned, and your swords are quite close to her because she's holding you quite close. All you have to do is just, as she turns, slice slightly, and you start cutting into her, and this skull-like face just looks directly into yours, like point blank range, and just snarls angrily. Excellent.
Please, let's go.
Abernathy, that is the end of your turn that you want to move?
Well, I'm happy to stay out of the way. That's fine, thank you.
Ashakti, what would you like to do?
Oh man. So am I correct in thinking that the Death's Head and Merkle person are kind of on our side of the oval, and then Kindle and his 4 paint ghouls are like on the other side of an oval?
And therefore paint ghouls, yes.
And therefore paint ghouls, thank you. I was thinking it might be helpful to make a line of fire all near them so that they're all over that side with fire. I've got this Agonizer Scorcher line of flame thing.
Yeah, that's a
it's
burst line of
instantaneous,
flame.
isn't it? Yes.
It's
Okay.
just
Okay. Yes.
it
Yes.
happens.
Okay. That's what I was
You
going
could
to
try
ask.
and hit, because it's a line, you
Yeah.
could try and aim it at Kindle, and you'd get Kindle, and
Yeah.
we'll see. Maybe one or two
Well,
of the
the
ghouls
other
work
ones
that
are
out.
hypnotized anyway, so in that case, no, I won't do that. I will chaos bolt the mean lady stabbing Cohen.
Oh, she is holding Cohen quite close to her, just be warned.
Is chaos the best approach to take in this situation? Oh, but I could use careful spell, but I'd have to know whether to use careful spell. I'm going to use careful spell just in case.
Careful spell would be to it's a targeted thing, so it'll hit whoever it hits. It's not like an area of effect where you can avoid people. You just hit whoever it hits.
What you're saying is, if I miss her, I might hit Cohen.
Yeah.
I don't want to hit Cohen. Okay, I'm gonna chaos bolt the Merkle person instead. Cohen, but I'm scared.
The Merkles, they've done nothing and just been
I'm
bullied by
scared.
this whole encounter. Great, fantastic, go for it.
Chaos bolt them.
Yeah, do it.
It's a 21 to hit.
Yeah. This figure, they're just standing there. They're confused. They have no idea what's going on. They're slowed down. And then they've been hit by a fireball. They're still being burned by the fireball, and now they're about to get chaos bolted as well. Great.
Also, but I want to. I'm going to do. Are they near anyone? No, it's not splashy.
No.
I'm going to do 7 points.
They're near the death's head.
7 points of acid damage.
Splash.
7 points damage. They turn burnt. The acid hits them. They shriek. Ah! It's a very slow motion shriek, and they're looking like bits of their skin are burning off with the acid. They've already got terrible burns over more than half of their body. It's a mess. They look a complete mess.
It should be working from home, really. That's the problem.
Yeah. I was going to say that I was going to do that in a really cool, controlled way, but obviously, actually, what Shaq was doing was like, no, okay, oh god, no, oh yeah, yes, this, all uncontrolled.
Excellent.
Don't worry, people, I've got this.
You have a bonus action and movement if you want it.
No, it's fine. Stay here where I am.
So you're all staying
You've been
clustered
the most
together.
effective out of all of us thus far.
Are we all hiding in the same place?
Yeah.
You are all clustered together in
All
one part of
congregated
this.
together.
Yeah.
Can I
Probably should not do that.
Can I go through a hole and just be over there suddenly? Like, I'll go through here and then be here just to be somewhere different to throw people off. Yes.
I will let you jump through a hole at random.
Oh, yeah.
Because it would take an action to try and, as you know, you lot are au fait with this area. Okay.
Yeah.
Roll me an intelligence check, just a flat intelligence check, and let's see.
I'm not
Well,
smart.
no, what advantage? Because we definitely
19.
Oh, never mind.
19. It would be with advantage if
I
you took
rolled
the whole
really
turn.
well.
You quickly sidestep through one of these side tunnels and sort of revert as gravity turns you upside down. You're in the same room in a different space. Gravity always goes to the walls in this space. Where do you want to be?
Somewhere else. Not too near scary people.
You are currently as far away from scary people as you can be.
I would like that. Thank you.
No, but you were before you stepped through a hole.
Oh, now I'm nearer.
You'd have to
fine.
be nearer one group of scary people because of the way that this works.
I don't mind. It's random. I'm going to say she's just like leaping a bit.
Cool. Ashapti leaks through a hole and appears sort of above you on the roof, about 10 feet away, just slightly out of the way and slightly less clustered together. Excellent. You have a bonus action if you want it, Chance? Actually, no, we'll count the roll for
I
that.
don't have
That's
any
a bonus
bonus
action.
actions anyway. Thank you.
Lilith.
Hello. Well, I mean, seeing as Mean Lady has had a go at people and not really seem to take that much damage, I will do a scorching ray at her.
If you do a scorching ray at her and miss, please note she is holding Cohen.
God damn you, Kono. Okay.
Okay, I'll just not.
It's useless. Fine.
Cohen.
Fine. I will do magic missile at her, so it also hits.
It does also hit. That's fine.
We get some damage in, but that's just at level 1 for now.
Yep.
For now.
Roll me the damage.
For now. How many was it? It's 3? Is it 3 or 4 darts?
I don't know.
Level 1, I think, is 3.
3, yeah, just 3.
Then 3. So 3d4 plus 3.
2. And plus 5.
7.
That's gone wrong. Plus 5, and that's it. So 12 points of damage.
No, but-
Nice.
But that doesn't take into account the plus, does it? It's 3d3. What is it? D4 plus something.
It's
This
plus
is 3.
1. Just plus
They're,
1.
they're plus 1 each. Each dart is
Yeah.
plus 1.
That's fine.
So I rolled a 1 and then 2 4s.
Great. As she's taking hold of Cohen and trying to just position Cohen so that Cohen's in the way of anything that could possibly, and she's seen various people try and reach out with spells and they haven't gone for her. You just casually reach out and darts just go flying out and around and impact her sides and arms around Cohen, and she just snarls again frustratedly, like this is not necessarily going her way.
Mm-hmm.
You have a bonus action and movement.
Yeah, but you said that we're currently as far away as we possibly can be from both groups.
Yes,
Kind
basically so. If you did move, you would be moving closer to one or the other group because of the way that spatial positioning works.
Right, so in which case, I will stay exactly where I am. Thanks.
Okay.
Take advantage of the ambush possibilities.
But I know, but I don't want to be anywhere else other than far away.
It does make sense.
Kindle.
Ah.
Kindle, who has a speed of super fast, is going to come running strangely up the wall, running towards the entire group of the three of you that are still together. That's Abernathy, Lilith, and Viorica, who are all still together alongside. And they have seen what you did, Abernathy, and they heard your exhortation. They are going to launch themselves at you, just these horrible paint-like claws growing out. And you can see they're still a fire genasi. They're still what they always were, but being in this space has changed them, and not necessarily in ways that are good. And looking into their eyes as they come running towards and leap out at you, you do recognize some of that, like, that fervor of self-belief that you had when you spent a lot of time with the brush. And as they barrel into you, their first bite is a 17 to hit.
Yeah.
Oh,
Mm-hmm.
oh, shit.
He's chunk, he's fine. Oh,
He's
cool.
the healer.
They're not hugely chunky.
So I've got to roll a lot of things. You take 11 points of piercing damage as they bite you in the shoulder and just bowl you over. Just a melange of clawed hands and very horribly sharp teeth. This is going to be complicated, but it's worth doing. You take 4 points of charisma damage.
Ooh.
So your
Right.
charisma is reduced by 4, which may affect a lot of what you can do.
That affects
Mm-hmm.
basically everything I do.
Everything.
Yep, that was the intention of this. So yes, you,
Chris.
Thanks, Chris. Yeah.
the paint that where they've bitten into your shoulder and the paint sort of oozes onto you, you can feel it sapping at your very personality, your connection to Melil, your connection to the world. It's a horrible feeling, and you collapse to the ground. Do mark it on Beyond, that should then adapt all of your scores as you might need them. They are also going to try and slash you with their claws, which is sort of in the midriff kind of area. That's less good. That's only a 9 to hit.
No, that misses.
Great. So their claws don't hit you, which are also bad. And where Abernathy Abernathy's been bowled over, and it's just these two figures rolling around on the floor with this very strange fire genasi, this perverted fire genasi, clawing and biting at Abernathy on the ground next to Viorica and Lilith.
Woo, woo.
Lovely.
Yeah.
Viorica, it is your turn. What would you like to do?
Okay. So Yeah, no, I know. The problem is that's worked so badly the last few times. What I'm going to try and do to start with this time is do Tasha's hideous laughter on the Skullface lady. That's my plan.
Tasha's hideous laughter on the death's head.
Yes, so that she will hopefully drop Cohen. She?
Yep.
Will hopefully drop Cohen and start laughing and go prone. That's my plan.
Okay, so wisdom saving throw?
Wisdom at 16, I think. Yeah,
She has magic
16.
resistance, but as we have previously discovered, her wisdom is pants. Ah, it's a 17. Sorry, Ed.
Oh,
All right.
I'm just not effective. Oh, well.
Okay.
It's fine.
So Viorica tries to cast Tasha's hideous laughter on the death's head, which does nothing. You still have a bonus action and movement if you like it. Please note that Kindle is literally amongst all three of you, Abernathy, and Lilith, so moving might provoke attacks of opportunity.
Is there a way that I can jump through a hole and land on top of the death's head?
Ooh. Can you roll me an intelligence check with advantage? Roll me an intelligence check, it's a bonus action. Roll me an intelligence check.
Okay. Oh, that's 11.
Looking through the various holes in the floor around you as this carnage starts to unfold, you look through one and see the back of the death's head currently locked with Cohen.
Perfect. I want to leap out and leap onto her back.
You do.
So there won't be a grapple.
Suddenly, you appear and you reappear behind her, and looking through the hole, if anyone was looking at that position, they could have seen you through that hole as well the entire time, because spatial, weird. And you leap through and just grapple, and now she's got you on one side and Cohen on the other, and is just deciding how she's going to best deal with this situation.
Yep.
That is the end of your turn. The first ghoul, who was not affected by the hypnotic pattern, is going to look around itself. It's going to roll an intelligence check. It rolled quite high. That's a 15 with a -2. It is going to move to one of the other ghouls and just punch, shake one of the other ghouls. It takes an action, but it shakes that ghoul out of being hypnotic. The second ghoul is going to try and do the same. That's a 4. The second ghoul is... very confused, unsure. Now, these paint ghouls, they're not undead by the traditional sense of undead. They are paintings from other parts of this painted universe that have been warped and changed in this sort of strange way that Kindle has of changing the paint world around them. And so they are sort of two very strange-looking paint construct, strange things, just looking at each other kind of bemusedly. The one that didn't manage to move along in that way it didn't manage to work out how to save its allies, is going to start stumbling slowly towards combat, trying to get involved in helping its boss. It has enough movement to reach Abernathy and Lilith, and Abernathy is currently a sort of a melange on the ground, so it's going to try and lumber towards and hit Lilith. That is a 12 to hit you, Lilith.
Nope, I have the mage armor up. Thank you, Steve.
As it stumbles, you just sort of, you hold it back, and as you hold it back, your fingers sort of seep into it. It's not entirely there. It's made entirely of paint, and it's just like you're not quite sure you can stop it. It's sort of like squeezing itself down your arms as it moves.
Not on the outfit, not on the outfit, not on the outfit.
All of you are covered in paint by now. This whole world is made of paint. The third and fourth ghouls can't do anything because they are stunned. They are hypnotic patterned, I should say. Cool. It is the Master of Souls' turn.
Oh, buddy.
They are slowed. They have 5 hit points.
Oh, Lord. Oh, my Lord.
Still
Okay.
scared of them.
Yeah, me
They've still
too.
got a turn. They can still do stuff.
Yeah, true.
Or half a turn, anyway.
But
Steve.
somebody at some point finish him.
Oh, not Steve.
No,
Steve
Steve, talk to me about slow. If they are slowed and try and cast a spell, what happens?
Basically, they have to roll a d20, and on an 11 or higher, the spell doesn't take effect until their next turn.
I'm rolling the d20 now.
If it's casting time of 1 action.
What if it's a casting time of 1 bonus action?
then I imagine that doesn't count. As
hang
in,
on,
you should just be able to cast that normally. I would have thought, because it
Does
does
say bonus
say
actions take a whole action?
if the creature attempts to cast a spell with a casting time of 1 action.
Cool. So
So a
therefore,
bonus action is less.
by process of elimination, they wave a hand in front of them and Misty Step, and they're trying to Misty Step back through the tunnel they came in. However, they haven't realized that that tunnel may not be a way out anymore because, again, this space is non-Euclidean and very odd, and suddenly starts slowly falling through the air, slightly further away from you, not quite sure what's going on or why it's happening. I'm just going to leave that there for now. That's what's happening with the Master of Souls. And we're back to the top of initiative. It's the Death's Head's
Scary
turn.
skull lady.
So there are now 2 people on her, and she is angry and frustrated. Okay. She is going to... Cohen is still on her front. Viorica has grappled her in the back. Instinctually, she's going to stab backwards with the knife and try and stab into Viorica as he leaps forward. Ooh. Viorica, does a 24 hit you?
Oh,
Come on.
This isn't fair.
You take 10 points of piercing damage as she turns and jams the dagger into you from behind.
Okay.
At the same time, Cohen, she is going to, you are the biggest threat, glare into your face again and try and stun you in exactly the same way. Please, my wisdom saving throw.
I'm once again asking you for a wisdom saving throw.
I'm sorry, buddy. you are the scary tank. This is what she needs to do.
Oh,
I'm real sorry.
getting better.
Cohen is
I didn't
stunned.
want to play anyway.
I'm
I
sorry.
don't think it's
babe.
doing self-isolation.
I'm gonna let this DM just ruin me. I don't want to do. And she it's an 18 to hit you. Does an 18 hit you?
Yes.
It does. Okay. You take another 9 points of piercing damage and are still stunned. She's now
Can I
got a. Can you speak?
Sorry, can I speak while I'm stunned?
No, but there was a brief period there where you weren't. So
Literally, all he's going to do is just say, "Can't keep your eyes off me, can you?"
I think that's when she sticks the dagger in the side of your neck this time.
Ah!
It's just trunk. It's a really horrible, like, quick move. And she is just in between the two of you, currently dagger in both of you, trying her best to sort this situation out. Cohen, it is your turn, but you are stunned. At the end of your turn, you are no longer stunned, so don't forget you still have reactions. Abernathy, can you roll me a d20, please?
Natural 20. I can't move the camera to show you.
No,
but
it's fine. No,
genuinely-
I believe you. It's totally fine. As you're rolling with with Kindle in this sort of strange melee of limbs and paint splashing all over the place, you are very aware of the paintbrush in your pocket, and it hasn't fallen out of your pocket. It is now your turn. What would you like to
I
do?
thought Lilith still had it. Did you?
I
give
thought
it?
Lilith
Lilith
have it?
had the paint.
Oh, never
Lilith
mind.
has the paintbrush.
Then never mind. That
Definitely
covers
doesn't
all
fall
of
out.
those grounds. That's my bad. Yeah, it definitely doesn't fall out because it can't.
She
Abernathy, it's your
specifically
turn.
took it off him in untrusted way.
In my pocket.
Let's put it
That is
on
my
the
bad.
phone.
Probably
Apologies,
get
everyone.
that back at some point.
I mean, it would be really useful, probably, but yeah.
Anyway.
I'm doing my best without it.
Well done, well done. You're doing
So
great.
never mind. See, that natural 20 means that I was reminded of something that already happened. Abernathy, it's your turn. What would you like to do?
Find the paintbrush in my pocket? No. Okay, so I've got Mercule on me. Oh,
You've got Kindle on you, yes.
Kindle on me, and they are scary.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, teeth.
Yeah, they have a weird maw of, like, paint teeth as well.
Paint teeth.
Peath. No.
No.
Like legs. Legs
It's
are
gonna be no.
Cancelling Peath, guys. We're cancelling Peath.
That is peathy.
Abernathy, what do you want to do?
I think the best is I'm about 20 feet away from Death's Head and that melange as well.
You are, yes.
Okay. So I could disengage and move nearer them.
Yes, you could. There was no grapple action.
I think, what the best thing to do.
Mm-hmm. I'm just going to sit here and wait while you think about it.
Sorry, I know. Well, I've got two things I could do, and neither of them are particularly great. Oh, let's do something more interesting. Okay. He's going to misty step out of combat. Bonus action.
As Kindle snarls and claws, you suddenly just, in your paint expression, just zoom out. And where do you want to reappear?
It can be because the paint powder effect can it remain in this world?
Yes.
Like because when he's misty stepped before, the paint powder has kind of puffed out and then disappeared. But I'd like it to kind of remain.
Yeah, Kindle's just there, clawing and biting it. Covered in this weird
And
paint
now I'm
powder.
covered in paint too.
Yeah, you are. As you pop out of existence, where do you want to reappear?
Basically, slightly further towards Cohen, but
Yeah,
also well, actually, maybe up towards Ashakti.
Yeah, you and Ashakti are within 5-10 feet of each other, and you're both on the roof, on the ceiling, which is gravitationally pulling you upward.
Yeah. And then again, minor illusion.
Mm-hmm.
Like, hope it works this time. And basically, I don't know. Would he go for the same kind of claws, or maybe a long kind of dagger?
Steve, as your DM, I'm going to make a suggestion to you that anything that involves her physical stats, you might want to involve a different stat.
What?
Sorry?
Her strength, constitution, and dexterity are ludicrously high.
Yes, I am not talking about anything on the Death's Head.
Oh.
I think he's casting minor illusion on himself. And is going to get a long kind of dagger and maybe even some kind of painted leather kind of jerkin, like a big leather waistcoat.
Well, make it plate armor if you're going to do that.
Sorry?
Make it plate armor if you're going to do that.
If it is
I'm
real,
not going to be proficient with plate armor.
if it is real, then Abernathy's going to
plate.
fall over and clunk.
Yes.
Don't spellcasters with armor roll all their spells? Maybe your spell just doesn't happen.
That's an old edition. You have to be proficient in the armor that you're wearing, otherwise you cannot cast spells.
Got you.
So, Steve, what armor are you proficient with as a sorcerer?
I didn't actually check that. That would be. I just thought that's something interesting.
Well, I'm engaged with this idea. I like it.
If this is all still minor illusions, this is going to be so embarrassing.
I am well aware. Oh,
None. Oh.
You can't use armor at all.
no.
Okay. Steve,
Yeah.
as you're painting this armor onto yourself and this dagger into your hand, can you describe what it looks like, please?
Yeah.
I think it would be. Again, you know how earlier described that the Van Gogh kind of swirls that kind of came alive. It would be that, but almost like a burnished kind of brass looking, but yet supple, kind of big chunky,
Subtle, big chunky
waistcoat essentially.
Supple chunky waistcoat.
Just a bit more kind of padding up front, and then. A big kind of slightly curved, perhaps almost like it looks like it. You know how a paint brush, if it's kind of been used a lot and dried, kind of goes almost slightly into a point and splays.
Yes.
It kind of looks like that, but wickedly sharp.
Cool. You now have effectively cast mage armor on yourself, and you are holding a dagger.
Yay! That's exactly what I wanted.
And that is what has happened. You paint over yourself, and you're now slightly more kitted to do something here. Yeah, here's what it is.
Fingers crossed.
That was your bonus action. That was your action. Movement counts as part of that. Ashakti, what would you like to do? Actually, unless, Abernathy, you want to use your movement now that you're here to run up to someone?
No, just kind of stand in front of Ashakti, because I think things might move towards me.
Sure. In front of is a very strange turn of phrase in this space, so
Yes.
Nearby?
Well,
Thank you.
Nearby.
Thank you.
Wait, you think,
Protective stance.
wait, you think things are going to run to you and attack you, so what you've done is come near me?
Yes, we wouldn't.
Oh dear.
Thanks.
Speaking of which, Ashakti, it is your turn.
Ashakti's happy about that. She's grateful. Charmin is
Okay.
not.
Okay.
Can I get Kindle in a line, in my line of flame, without getting Lilith?
Yes, at this point you would be able to get Kindle in a line, but it would just be Kindle.
Yeah,
If
I
you
know.
wanted to get Kindle and the ghoul that's currently sort of very close to Lilith, you could use a careful spell to hit the ghoul as well. It could be hit both of them.
Okay, yeah. In which case, I won't use the Scorcher. I'll use my Burning Hands, which is a
15-foot cone.
15-foot cone with its
Yes, you
dex
can do that.
saves, but then use careful to make sure Lilith is fine with it.
No problem at all. So you need
So-
dex saves from Kindle and from one of the ghouls. I'll just do that now.
Yeah.
Kindle has
Fighting
advantage
fire with
on.
fire.
Yeah,
And
Kindle
Matt's,
has magic
oh god, oh yeah, of
resistance.
course he's on fire, isn't he? He probably doesn't care about fire.
They're on fire, yes.
They're on fire, and they probably, yeah, and they're magic. So 15 is the dex save anyway.
Yeah, the dex save for Kindle is a 21, but they still take half damage, don't they? On
Yes.
a dex save on Burning Hands, it's half damage, isn't it? Yes. And the paint ghoul rolls...
Is this all right if this is second level, by the way?
Yes, of
I
course.
should have said which level I was casting it.
And the paint ghoul rolls a 13, so the paint ghoul takes full damage, and Kindle takes technically a quarter damage because they're fire resistant, not fire immune.
Okay.
Just roll all that damage, and then we'll work out the numbers.
5, 9, 11, 17 total.
Lilith, the ghoul that you're currently holding on to just sort of like it sort of melts horribly. It's still alive, but there's sort of mostly melted paint just reaching towards you now. So that's 17 total on the ghoul.
Yeah. Yes.
Okay.
So half is 8, half a quarter is 4, I guess.
And Kindle takes 4 fire damage.
Something in it.
Kindle burns slightly, but they don't appear to be quite as bothered by fire. If anything, fire doesn't seem to bother them that much at all. But it's a start. Cool. That is Germany.
Yeah.
Oh no!
E100, please.
Oh no, this is going to be
Come on.
fine. This is probably
Germany
fine.
is
This
a
is what we need
wild-
right now.
Yeah.
Roll windy indeed. Come on.
Just for the audience, Ashakti is a wild magic sorcerer, so occasionally weird things happen.
84. Give me an 84. What is that good? It's probably good. It's probably going to be something good.
Why don't you all try and guess what it is while I find the two?
Something really nice.
No damage for all. round.
Invulnerable. Yes, that's a good.
Someone at random in the room vanishes out of existence.
I'm going to
Forever.
say summoning unicorn.
I
Summoning
think that might
unicorn
be
into
one of
the-
them.
Summoning a unicorn. I like that. I'd like to summon a unicorn. Is it the unicorn one, Chris?
At this point, I'm still checking because I can't spell the word sorcerer. Hang on.
No one can spell the word sorcerer.
You lose the ability to read and write for the next 5 minutes.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Not sure that Shakti's read and write was ever up to that much. So
Wow.
You can
Wow.
suddenly make
84?
the best cups of tea.
Wait.
84.
yes, Chris said well. Why did they say well?
Germany,
Yes.
roll me a d10.
What the fuck?
No, I don't want to though. What if I don't want to?
You have to.
Too many dice.
7.
Right. Abernathy,
Yeah.
Lilith,
What?
as all of you, you're all within 30 feet. All of you take 7 points of necrotic damage.
Ah! That's so
Yay.
good.
Hang on. The ghoul that you're holding on to just like melts away into nothingness.
Knotting pattern breaks if you take damage.
It's within 30 feet, and from where sorry, it's adding up all the different things that happen here. So that's 1 ghoul, 2 ghouls, 3 ghouls, 4 ghouls. The Master of Souls.
Are they gone?
Hang on, I need to do a lot of adding up here. So, Ashakti, have you lost any hit points?
No, I haven't been. No one's touched me.
Cool. So you don't heal a metric fuck ton of hit points. That's a shame. But everyone else takes 7 points of necrotic damage. Everyone else in the room, because of the way the room is outlined, takes 7 points of necrotic damage. And we don't need to add up how much you heal because it's irrelevant.
Yeah,
So
those
she
two.
got all of that as healing.
Yes.
I would have if I'd taken damage. So those 2 ghouls that were entranced by hypnotic pattern are now no longer distracted.
Although one of the ghouls is now melted into absolute nothingness because
Yay!
you took them out.
Yeah. Oh, there's 2.
As well as the Master of Souls falls through the air, screaming frustratedly at this whole situation. No, they're not resistant to necrotic. I thought they might have some necrotic damage resistance, but they don't. They just suddenly curl up and in mid-air, like all the moisture's being sucked out of them, and hit the ground with a very dull and are also out for the count.
Yes. Necrotic damage is fine as long as you don't die from it, right?
Necrotic damage is fine. It's just damage. Special creatures have special abilities based on necrotic damage, but you don't.
Okay, I thought there was a thing. Okay, fine.
Absolutely humiliated. That poor person.
Accidentally murdered 2 people.
They did not have a good day. Shakti, that is your action. You still have movement and a bonus action if you want it.
What does it look like when people so I'm just like, but I'm feeling really in control, like this is great,
I reckon
I've got this. I've been careful of Lilith. My powers are like well under control now. I can do anything.
I reckon you can see your. What are they called on your hands? The henna patterns? They're called bindi.
The Mendi.
Mendi, thank you. The Mendi, thank you. The Mendi on your hands sort of like suddenly go like necrotic black, and suddenly like you can see it sort of absorbing everything around you, and it's really disconcerting. Lilith, it's your turn. What would you like to do?
Ow.
The ghoul on you is now just splatters of paint all over you.
Wonderful news.
Kindle is within 5-10 feet of you, not far away. Mm-hmm. The other ghouls are all sort of shaking themselves off on the far side of this room. Mm-hmm. The Death's Head is still took the necrotic damage and is still sort of dealing with his situation.
Still grappling with Cohen.
She is still grappling with Cohen and with the Orica now.
Oh, good. More of you on her. Damn it. I will look at Kindle and go, you don't really look very pleasant either. And I will do Maximilian Eartham's grasp on them to keep them hopefully in one place.
Well, you can always hope. Right. Kindle needs to make a what kind of saving throw?
16 strength.
16 strength. So they have magic resistance. They get advantage on this. Yes! I have rolled a 16.
Fuck.
Oh.
The hand reaches up around Kindle and they just walk through it like it isn't there.
Yeah.
This hand is made of the paint of this environment, and it appears that almost doesn't affect them. Maybe you need to, do more. That is your action. What would you like to do?
I'm going to try and move towards Abernathy.
Okay, Abernathy is currently above you. You could try running around. You could try jumping through a hole.
Yeah, I'll do whatever I think's best. I don't know which would be the quicker way.
At this point, Kindle is close enough to you for an attack of opportunity.
Careful. I thought you said 10 feet away.
5 to 10 feet.
Oh, you sneaky. Right. But it's only ever going to be their reaction, right? They're going to try and get me either way there next time. So
it's about to be their turn, yeah.
Exactly, so I might as well be now. I'll try and run to Abernathy and take out the paintbrush and then run straight ahead of me.
And you visibly show the paintbrush to Kindle.
But I have my back turned to them, no?
Kindle's going to try and make an attack of opportunity with their... I think claws is fairer as you try and run away. Mm-hmm. That is an 18 to hit you.
I will use shield and bump up the mage armor to get me to 19.
Brilliant. Like the claws skitter off your shield as it comes up right in front of their paint claws, which shatter slightly as they impact your shield. But as they snarl as you run past, you can see the hand just, like the claws are just growing back. No issue there at all. But you have managed to get to Abernathy by running away from Kindle. That is
it
fine.
A free action to just hand him the paintbrush?
Yep.
Go do something amazing. I don't care.
Right.
No. Why are these people near me? Targets painted on their backs. I don't like it.
Can I just confirm? So you've got this new painted bronze breastplate, Abernathy, and a new dagger in one hand and the paintbrush in the other.
Apparently so. Yeah.
That's all very cinematic. I like it. Great.
Yeah.
The look.
Target is what it is.
Kindle is going to come bounding, like almost like animalistic, sort of claws in, up the side, running after Lilith, having seen the paintbrush and wants the paintbrush, and is going to go diving on the person holding the paintbrush, which is Abernathy.
Indeed. I don't suppose he's near. They come near enough, Lilith or I, to have an attack of opportunity or anything.
They're not moving through the space. They're going to stay in the same space as all of you.
No.
That is a nat 1 on the bite. As they leap forward and try and bite you, your new armor and just holds them off, and you're sort of standing stronger and firmer, and you have a much better sense of this situation in hand. However, they are going to try and rake out with their claws. That is a nat 20.
Can I? Oh no!
Stop enjoying this.
Oh, good.
I can't.
Can you what?
Sorry, I can use luck only when an attack roll is made. It says when attack roll is made against you, not against someone else.
Sorry, yeah. Okay.
Is luck on someone else? No.
For other things maybe, but not for attack rolls. But for like, actually maybe not. No, I think it's just me actually.
Fair enough.
Abernathy, you take 23 points of slashing damage as Kindle just tears through your new armor like paper.
Yeah.
1 hit point left.
Oh man!
Oh. Make a Constitution saving throw.
No.
Kindle nasty.
Not charisma damage again.
Oh my god, magic is just me as well.
What'd you get?
Is it against poison?
No.
13.
The Constitution saving throw DC to be paralyzed or not is 12.
Shit.
Kindle is clawing madly at your midriff and grabbing for the paintbrush. It's the thing they want more than anything else. Right, that is the end of Kindle's turn. Viorica. You are currently daggered, and the Death's Head has you and Cohen in various, like, daggers in ribs kind of situations.
Okay. Okay, so I'm not going to be able to make an Sorry,
I don't know, Ed.
I'm just trying to figure out whether to heal myself or Abernathy. I assume I will have seen that Abernathy will have got stabbed quite as badly as he has.
Not stabbed, clawed.
Sorry, that's what I mean, exactly. Raked. In which case, I am going to do...
Don't rub your hands!
I will do what I please. You're not in the same room as me.
I'm going to do healing word at second level on you, Abernathy.
Oh, splendid.
That's my plan.
How do you do your healing word?
It's as with everything with Viorica, it's all to do with his voice.
Yes.
And I think in this case, it will be. It's usually a lullaby, but I think in this case it's going to have to be a rousing version of sort of the world equivalent of the Drunken Sailor song. Yo ho and up she rises, yo ho and up she rises. That's what's going to happen.
Fine. Yeah, that's
glow all around you.
Canon, definitely. Okay. Roll your second level healing word.
4 to start with, and a 1. So that's 10 in total.
Thank you. Get 10 hit points. Great.
That helps.
Fiorica, that is your bonus action. What would you like to do?
That's only my bonus action, of course. So, in which case, now I'm going to stick the dagger in this thing's neck, if I may.
Ooh, please make an attack roll.
Yeah, I don't know if this is going to work, but we'll see.
Always worth trying.
Indeed. That's a total of 6 when the plus is +5.
No.
Then it's, what's it called? Natural 1.
You reach out and try and stab this woman, but she is so big and so terrifying that you almost drop the dagger out of your hand. This is the dagger you picked up from the Temple of Gond. There is
no idea how to use it.
It's sort of like shivering, like almost trying to hit, but you just can't. You just, she's too imposing, too terrifying, and for the moment you don't really know what to do.
I'm perfectly willing to drop the dagger as a result of this, in as much as
it was a 1.
I will have to pick it up again before I can use it. I feel like that's a reasonable -1.
It lands in the ground point first and sort of sinks into the paint slightly, and this whole area is now just it's like you're all now dancing around a paint melange. It's just everything is, all of you are covered. It's a complete horrific mess. If they were filming this, I'd say write it differently, but they're not, so it's fine. Good. The ghoul that was shaken loose is going to come stumbling up to help its master, and is going to try and attack. It's Kindle's currently holding Abernathy, so the ghoul is going to head directly for. There's 3 of them. I'm going to say that 2 of them head for Ashakti because they saw the burning hands and one of their ally and their buddy get burned, and 1 is going to stumble towards Lilith. So Ashakti. Well, the nat 1 doesn't hit you. 1 ghoul goes swinging straight past you, just sort of flops over near you. The other rolled an 18 to hit.
Yeah, it hits.
Okay. You take, it's not that much. 6 points of slashing damage. These weird, like, paint claws. Sort of, the paint sort of lands on you and then, like, sort of hardens and sinks in. And it is like your skin is being sort of torn apart from the inside. Can you also make me a Constitution saving throw, please?
Oh, not bad. 19.
Cool. DC 10. Lilith, I'm guessing a non-natural 20 hits you.
What, sorry?
A non-natural 20 hits you, yes?
That does hit, yeah.
As the third ghoul comes. Ooh. That's 10 points of slashing damage. I am sorry, I rolled
God, I'm down to 10 now.
And make a con saving throw.
Ouch.
This is
I rolled a 15 on the dice.
Yeah, you're fine. The ghouls are now with Kindle and Lilith and Ashakti and Abernathy all just clustered together on the roof, while the 3 of you are still 3 of you, that's not helpful on the internet, while Cohen and the Death's Head and Viorica are all in a cluster lower down and further away. It is a melange. Master of Souls is dead. Good. It's the Death's Head's turn. Sorry, what was that, Anna?
Nothing. I'm not doing anything.
Fine. Right. The Death's Head is going to
kill me.
Cohen is still a bigger threat. There's no way around this. Cohen is
always a bigger threat.
I have been massively ineffective this entire combat, so that does make sense.
Hang on, I'm going to roll something for her. She has also seen the paintbrush. Her main goal now is to get the fuck out and to try and get it and run. Okay. She is going to disengage from the two of you and run up to Abernathy and try and stab him in the back. She's used her action to disengage. Oh, does she? That's a dumb thing for her to do. She wouldn't do that. I'm working out.
I'm
I
so
think
ready to stab her.
I think she's willing to risk attacks opportunity to kill Abernathy and get the brush. Cool. She will just turn. She's seen it. She knows she hasn't got enough time. She's going to run up to Abernathy, running up the side of the wall like everyone else is doing in this strange space, to try and stab him and get the thing that she wants more than anything else. Viorica and Cohen, you both get attacks of opportunity. Viorica, you don't have a weapon.
No, I've only got an unarmed strike.
You can grapple as an attack of opportunity. I'm just going to throw that out to both of you. Okay.
Can you?
You can
grapple
yes.
instead, yeah.
Cohen, are you going to grapple or are you going to attack?
Yeah, I'll also grapple.
What? Why?
Well, because if you
better.
fail, then... Or can we... Do we have to do this? Do we have to decide simultaneously, or can we...
No. I will allow you to
Okay.
do it one at a time. I'm not going to be harsh on this. Viorica, can you make a grapple check, please?
Which is a strength check?
It is an athletics check for you. It makes no difference for her. Still a +5. Okay.
Oh, is it athletics or acrobatics?
Athletics for you, because you're
Sorry.
making the grapple.
19!
Wow. I rolled real high, but it wasn't high enough. As she tries to move off, you just grab hold of her. How are you grabbing hold of her?
I'm going to try and put her in a Nelson thing, as in like arms underneath hers and then back round the neck. Do you see what I mean?
See. Yes, and because you succeeded on that, you have got her in a sort of headlock, but
She's angry, I understand.
she is very, very angry.
Is she about the same height as me?
No, she's huge. She's like 7.5 foot tall.
Well, in which case, it may be then that I'm not sure if I can reach that high necessarily.
Mm-hmm. Well, at least you certainly try. You've got a hold of her at the moment.
Fine. I've got a hold of her by hook or by crook.
Yes.
So she's more, not prone, but what is it? She has disadvantage.
She can't move. No, she's grappled. You have grappled her. She can't move. Right. She will use her action.
Cohen's attack.
She hasn't moved. She hasn't moved because Viorica's held on to her, so there is no attack opportunity for Cohen.
Oh, I see. Thank you.
Oh, well, that was really stupid of me. Oh, well.
No, it wasn't. Her speed is reduced to 0. It was really, really clutch.
Yeah, it was very helpful.
Right. So the condition ends if an effect removes the grappled creature. She just turns and I think as you grab her, she just both daggers out and behind herself, just thunk into you, or trying to at least.
Yep.
Oh, dear.
Not dead again.
Well, not necessarily dead, but almost definitely unconscious.
Well, I'm afraid it's Viorica's lucky day because the highest attack roll there is a 14.
Yeah, that's
What's your AC?
bad.
12. Okay,
12.
one hits you. One hits you, one doesn't.
Okay.
13 points of piercing damage.
I only had 6. I'm down.
Okay. She stabs behind herself. She is no longer grappled, and technically she hasn't moved.
Oh, no.
But her movement speed was reduced to 0. So
But it's now the grappled effect is gone because she's no longer being grappled because Viorica's unconscious. So she's going to try and run for it again. Cohen, what do you do?
Does her speed actually go back up again? Is that
Yeah.
okay?
Yeah.
You're the DM. Okay,
Yeah, it's a slightly
will-
janky one because the grapple condition was applied and removed in the same turn. It's fascinating. It's fascinating.
I am going.
Would she not have had to take her move action though? She
You
took
can
her
take-
move
you can
action,
take-
which
You can take your move action at various points during your turn to move 5
Yeah.
foot here, do something 5 foot there. So she started moving, it didn't happen. That's all fine. Cohen, what would you like to do?
5. I'm thinking what I'd like to do. She'll reach Abernathy, won't she? But she can't hit him, crucially.
She's only used 1 dagger strike, and she has more than 1. She has multiple.
This is just disgusting behaviour, frankly. She needs to stop. Okay, it's more likely to fail, but the reward is higher. I'll try and grapple her.
Oh, it's not great from me. It's not terrible, but it's not great.
Going anywhere. Oh, what is these rolls? That's a 6.
What is the total on that?
The total is 6.
Sorry, I only rolled a 10. She shoulders you out of the way, runs up towards Abernathy, and just from behind, stabbing deep, trying to get rid of him, because rules-wise...
Did she not attack Viorica twice?
She did attack Viorica twice. I rolled terribly. You are correct. Yes. She attacked Viorica twice. She is just running up. Thank you, Steve. My bad. She is just running up behind you. She still has her stunning gaze.
What? She's got everything. She's got everything.
She has multi-attack. She attacks twice and stunning gazes once in a round. No, she's only CR5.
She's the big bad. We're
exactly, yeah. She would have to literally grab Abernathy to turn him around to look at him to stun him, which doesn't make any sense at all. I think she's going to try and stun one of your 2 allies, although she's worried about Kindle as well. This is intriguing.
Stun Kindle.
Yeah, I'm intrigued by all of this.
She likes Kindle.
She and Kindle are on the same side, and she knows that, but she wants the brush. I think she probably thinks she can negotiate with Kindle, which doesn't think she can negotiate with you lot. She's going to try and stun, rolling a d6.
Why have you rendered her unconscious?
She's going to try and stun Ashakti as she runs up, try and stop Abernathy having support. So roll me a wisdom saving throw, Ashakti.
They're my thing.
Natural 1.
Oh.
I will use my luck.
Okay.
I will use luck.
Okay.
You've got tides back as well.
Yeah, I've got tides back as well.
Yeah, I know. I've got 1 luck left and 1 tides. I'm going to use luck and roll again.
Mm-hmm.
That was better. This could be fine. Wisdom save.
Yes, please.
18.
Yes, you're fine. You're not stunned.
Winning.
So, Ashakti is not stunned, but the Death's Head is now running away from Viorica, who is unconscious, and Cohen, and is running up behind, trying desperately to get hold of the paintbrush that Abernathy is now holding. She manages to reach you, Abernathy, but she doesn't quite get there fast enough to grab hold of you before it's the end of her turn. This is a complicated combat. Cohen, it is your turn. What would you like to do? You have actions and everything.
Whoa, I have a turn? I'm stunned by the novelty. Right, Cohen.
If you're stunned, you can't do anything for your turn. That's part of the rules. So, yeah.
No, I'm joking. I am joking. Sorry, I am not actually upset. Just to make that very clear, it's all good. Just having a bit of fun with it. Okay, cool. So Cohen's going to sprint directly after her, and attempt to attack her. Basically, running towards her. And I'll attack. He sort of jumps in the air, doing like a spinning attack.
Nice.
Cool. The boo 14
doesn't hit. Sorry.
No. Okay. Sort of skids in, not quite landing the blow, but then tries again. It's rude to stand someone up when we're on a date. And no, that's another 14. Cohen will just go in the bin for a while. Okay.
Sorry, love.
That's okay. That's my turn.
Cool. You're now within 5 feet of her, so you run up behind her. Grand. Abernathy.
Okay, quickly, how does Lilith look at this moment? I mean, I would have accepted a verbal response as well. It's told me everything I need to know.
not doing too hot.
Okay. The reason is, I know I've cast Mage Armor and healed Lilith a couple of times ahead of Abernathy, but because of something that Cohen said when we were leaving Alexa.
ahead of a Shack team.
Abernathy is now very much kind of, well, we need to keep Lilith alive as well. So as the bonus action is going to be a twinned healing word for Lilith and Viorica.
Great.
I love you so much.
So Viorica is purple and Lilith is orange. Lilith, you only get 3, I'm afraid.
That's okay.
Viorica, you get 6.
Viorica, you are no longer unconscious. Yep.
Sorry,
Do I come back with 6? Or do I come back with 1?
6.
Oh,
You get 6.
Come back with 6.
So that was my bonus action.
Yeah.
I mean, right, okay.
Yes, mate.
He looks down and he's got a brush in one hand and a wicked-looking dagger in the other.
Yes.
And he's got Kindle chomping at him. Now, I think when you described Kindle, they had, it seemed like it fired hair on fire.
The top of their head is fire. So where people usually have hair, they have a sort of flickering flame. And
you said that was that actually cracking his skin? You said it had like a paint-like quality of skin.
Their skin has a paint-like. That's quite all right. Their skin has a paint-like quality to it, and the fire seems to almost blacken and burn parts of them where it is burning away. Yes. What I think Abernathy essentially wants to do is, instead of jabbing out with the dagger, to kind of push out the paintbrush, and I can't really. I don't know what this is mechanically, but I want it to be almost like a flood of blue watercolor, like watery substance, the same kind of calming colors that he uses for his healing. Basically, almost like a water cannon. So to kind of both extinguish calm and, if possible, push Kindle back.
Wow. Amazing. Wow. I love it.
Is what he's intending, and again, I mean, and as far as I'm aware, I have a paintbrush that could allow me to do anything.
Yes.
So I'm sorry if I'm just kind of trying. If I'm
no. This whole environment is literally designed for you to be doing strange shit like this. It's totally fine. Stuv.
Yes.
I am just checking something, and then we will move forward from there.
Great. That sounds great. Cool.
This also is fine.
If Steve does this mean that Steve will have less charisma and wisdom?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. First of all, roll me a d4.
We need to get an arrest.
3.
Oh,
he's
man.
removed 3 from your wisdom score.
If it's any consolation,
is it?
I've not got that. I've only got 11 hit points left, so I'm probably going to die before I do anything else stupid.
Great. Thanks.
What a lovely sentiment.
Cheered us all right up.
There might be a point that every single one of you.
This mass healing word, everyone with that paintbrush.
Right. Ooh. I need to make a lot of rolls now, so please bear with me.
I think that there may come a point when Abernathy has single figures on every single stat.
Right, so the dexterity saving throws I made for Kindle and the 2 paint ghouls are very low, even with advantage, extremely low. There were 3 paint ghouls, sorry. That's slightly better. Okay. And there's also something you lot don't know about yet. Okay. Abernathy.
See visibility.
Just say that.
Abernathy. You grab hold of the paintbrush, and instead of resorting to this dagger that you just made for yourself, this effort to make something solid that might work in this way, you reach out with the paintbrush and just start this. Is it water? Is it a water cannon? Please be very specific on this. Is it paint or is it water?
In my head, it was kind of watercolor in water. You know how like you thin watercolor paints with water, and it's that.
There is a water element. Yes.
Yes.
Perfect. The water bursts out from you in this jet, and it's a tidal wave of water that just comes out from you and washes over the whole area in front of you, which hits Kindle, hits all of 3 of the remaining ghouls. It also hits Lilith and Ashakti. It is bigger than you would anticipate, this sort of wave of water. Lilith, Ashakti, can you please make me dexterity saving throws?
Roll high.
Nat 1.
Oh, seriously?
Dove of Chaos?
Another dice.
14.
14.
I'm not gonna this time.
Abernathy, what is
Nice.
your current spell save DC? Because it's low, isn't it?
13 now.
13. So Lilith, you're fine. Well, you're not fine, but you're half damage. Ashakti, are you re-rolling?
No,
Yeah, good idea. Good idea.
I'm not. You don't take
Leave it.
double damage from a nat 1, do you?
No.
It's not like, yeah, in that case, no.
Abernathy, please roll me 4d8.
Oh, shit. You could just roll ones on all of them.
But we do need the damage to be done to the other people. Stop smiling like
19.
that.
I'm out.
Good.
Lilith, you only take
Sorry.
half that damage. It doesn't really matter. But you're not
wait.
out. You're just unconscious.
No, wait. So you rolled 19.
Yes, half
8.
of that
So
would
I'm actually
be
still up. I'm actually still up. I've just got 5 left.
perfect. You are not out. Whereas Ashakti, you take 19. Are you down? 2. In front of you, this wave of water washes out from you, Abernathy, and your allies just go flying back. In this strange space, the water with paint swirling through it sort of sloshes through various holes and then reappears at different points. It's like a sort of strange wave happening all over the place, and it's knocking around a lot of this space, but the initial impact's only in front of you. The ghouls, the paint ghouls, just disintegrate in the water. They are just being billowed away. All of this water, all of this, you notice that the water is just washing the paint away. That water does wash paint away. And it is washing that, the whole area is becoming sort of this strange miasmic mess as it goes. Kindle shrieks horribly, their head burning out, guttering, the flame almost gone completely, and all of the paint all over them starts to wash out and spread away, and a huge part of their personage is removed by this, and you start to see the fire genasi underneath, all of these years of encrusted paint and different things that they've clearly drawn onto themselves, vanishing away as this water just washes the paint almost completely away from this room. It's not affecting the entire room. You don't hit the Orica, but
I was very worried about that for a moment.
yeah.
Yep.
But that is at the moment where we are at. And honestly, that feels like a very good time to take a break.
Yeah,
So,
that was really impressive.
well done, everybody. Fantastic work. And thank you all for staying with us. And we're still getting used to all of this. So I hope it's still as enjoyable to watch as it was before. And we'll be back in roughly 5 minutes or so. So see you in a bit. Bye. Right, hello everyone, and we're back. Hello. Hey. So we are currently still mid-combat.
It's fun. It's all fun. Don't worry. Nobody panic.
For a while.
So,
Got this.
to give everyone the lie of the land again, just to make clear of where we're all at this point, Abernathy has just unleashed a tidal wave of watery water with some paint mixed in.
Into water.
Yeah, say it. Water. Yeah. In front of him, in this wave, water has doused and washed the paint off Kindle entirely and defeated all three of their paint ghoul allies have just been washed away by this. Both Ashakti and Lilith have been hit by this, Ashakti being thrown quite a long way away, but Lilith still very close nearby, Kindle also. Behind Abernathy, the Death's Head of Bale, your persistent nemesis, is behind you, about to try and grab you and wrench the paintbrush from your grasp, or at least try to. Though in D&D rules terms, that's quite hard to do, so we'll come to that when we get to it. And at the same time... Yes. Cohen has run up from behind to attack Lilith. Viorica is on the ground, having just been revived, having been knocked unconscious beforehand, a bit further away from this melange. But that's where everyone is. Does that cover it for everybody? I think it does.
Yep.
Then we will continue. Dun 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 dun. Shakti, it's your turn. You realise that you are sort of slightly befuddled, slightly wet, slightly bedraggled, but you are in the same space as everyone else. Have been washed around a bit by this water, but you can see that Kindle is sort of kneeling slightly in front of Abernathy, and they now look very different. All the paint has washed off them, and they just look like a very scared, very confused Fire Genasi. And the Death's Head is still right behind Abernathy, about to grab him. What would you like to do? So
the Death's Head looks like the more immediate threat, at least.
Yes, they do.
Yes, I am like completely like bruised and barely able to do anything. I'm not even gonna like try and stand up. I'm kind of like sat up in the water. I'm going to throw a chaos bolt at her.
Okay, make an attack roll.
Good move.
At
the Death's Head, yeah.
At 3rd level, I'm using my last 3rd level spell slot.
Okay.
To take her.
All or nothing.
Do it.
That was a 4, so I'm going to on the dice. So I'm going to use Tides of Chaos to re-roll, and I will keep rolling until I fucking get that. That was a 2, so I'm going to use my last luck. I've only got 2 hit points left, so I'm kind of, this is it.
No, yeah.
Shelby, you've just given me your Tides of Chaos, yes?
Yes. So you can use it on this spell that thanks. Yeah. That I'm about to cast, I presume.
Yes, I can, and I shall.
Yes. It's your choice.
Come on, okay, last ranged attack roll. It's fucking awful. That was really bad. 12.
You reach inside you. You reach inside you and just try desperately to summon this last vestige of strength, and the sputtering Mendy on your hand, this sort of strange water, like almost washing them as well. Like they have like the water has a very strange reaction with paint in this world, and it just sputters and sparks. And instead of your spell going off, what happens? Roll me a D100.
Ah, shit.
Yeah, because we used Tides of Chaos, and then I used it immediately.
Get an 84 again, because that healing would be really...
Oh, that would be awful.
Yeah. The Chaos Bolt, I presume, flies off in some random direction.
I'm going to say the magic just doesn't happen. It just all like charged in your hands at this point.
Okay, that's a 19 on my D100 roll for Tides of Chaos.
Ooh.
Come on.
I have no idea what that does.
Shakti is like
Your entire party.
completely sodden and like collapsed like in the water. Like she sort of like pulled herself up to sitting to blast and then sort of collapsed down again.
The ground around you, the sparks off your hands just sort of melt and the paint on your hands is melting and the paint on the floor is melting. You've cast grease centered on yourself.
Cool. I'm just going to sit here in my greasy little circle in the water. Is that grease spell affect everyone because we're all so close to each other?
What is the range on grease? I don't know what the range on grease is, what I'm asking you. It's
on like going to be like
grease,
30 feet or something, I'd have thought.
It is a 10-foot square.
Okay.
So it's not huge. So it hasn't had a huge effect on the rest of this combat situation.
Okay.
You do have movement if you want it.
Ha! Yes. No. Oh God. I'm like just like definitely about to. Yeah, exactly. I'm definitely about to like cry and just like completely hopeless, like in so much pain. And I'm like trying to decide whether to like go towards Abernathy or go away to Abernathy, both of which seem pointless. So I'm going to try and go towards him, just like on the floor in the grease and the water, just like.
Oh, it's horrible. Can you roll me a dexterity saving throw?
Oh man.
Go on.
11.
What is your spell save DC?
Oh, more than that. 15.
You are just flopping around on the floor. You fall prone. You're just unable to do anything.
Isn't it, really?
And the water and the grease and the paint are all mixing together, and you're just covered in it. It's tragic, is what it is.
I'm just crying to myself.
Yeah. It's just,
have a good battle, guys.
It's a fucking tragedy, is what it is.
Oh, no.
Lilith, it is your turn. What would you like to do?
Okay. Where is? Oh, I don't know who's worse.
You and Kindle are both in front of Abernathy. Kindle looks much reduced by this water effect, clearing most of the paint from them. The death's head is right behind Abernathy and about to do something, and you don't know what.
Okay.
Destroy Kindle.
You said that Kindle is near me, yeah?
Kindle looks very strange. All of the paint has washed off them, and they just look like a fire genasi. Yeah, they're next to you.
Okay, I'm going to do Maximilian's Earthen's Grasp on them again.
On Kindle?
Yeah.
Okay.
So strength 16.
Kindle's scores are now very different. Kindle rolls a 13 on a strength saving throw.
Yes, no, he is entirely within my grasp. Sorry, they are entirely within my grasp, and they will take 2d6 bludgeoning damage, and then they're restrained.
Okay, roll the damage. 5
and a 4, so 9. So they take 9 points of damage and are held. And can I make it kind of this very like greasy now, like just taking a bit from there, taking a bit of water, taking a bit of the paint, like grabbing it kind of in this weird like globule thing and holding them to the floor and just being like, will everyone stop?
The death set has no reason to stop, just FYI.
Oh no, I'm aware.
It was cool.
Like, it was just like trying to get control of one thing. One thing.
Kindle shrieks as the hand grabs hold of them and starts sort of clenched tight. And they're just a commoner now.
Oh no.
So the hand is sort of like, and they're just shrieking, and it's their turn. They're going to use their action to try and reform. They can do this. They just sort of grab hold of the hand made of paint, and just you can see the paint coming off the hand and like reattach them. They're just screaming. They're just screaming. I will not. And the paint is just sort of forming onto them, and they're trying to rebuild themselves, but it's going to take them a while. And at this point, they are just desperately trying to reform this version of themselves here that they had, and paint is pouring over them, and they don't seem to understand what's happened. Again, you recognize this similar sort of look in their face like Abernathy had when using the paintbrush. There's definitely a sense of not understanding what is happening around them. Maybe one might say a very low wisdom score.
Right, okay.
That is the end. Sorry, yes, go on.
Yell, Be like, Abernathy, paint, heal everybody, anybody that you can.
Look, Viorica, you were going to say something?
Just, is this a T2 situation? As in, are they strengthening themselves again, or are they just reforming so they can get out of the grasp?
You don't know. You don't.
Okay, cool.
There is definitely a humanoid. Kindle is a humanoid. Kindle is a fire genasi under all of that paint, and they're just trying to rebuild this strange paint version of themselves that has these crazy abilities. But at the moment, no, just a fire genasi trying hard not to die. Viorica, it is your turn. What would you like to do?
Okay, so I'm. Which enemy am I nearest to? Is it still the Death's Head, or is
Kindle the only enemy who is not in a grasp and looking very weak-willed is the Death's Head, who is currently running up and very close to leaping on Abernathy, leaping for the paintbrush.
Okay. So sorry. So because all of the paint ghouls have gone.
Yes.
Has the silver flailhead?
Oh, their bodies way over there. They are long gone.
The only two threats we have are
Kindle and the Death's Head. Yes.
Kindle and the Death's Head.
Yes.
Cool. In which case,
Cool. You've got 3 hit points, Viorica.
No. No, I understand, but given we've only got one enemy now, I've only got one thing to try and.
I mean, it's gonna work sometime, isn't it?
Yeah, I'm going with
right now.
Yeah, this is, but it's going to be a different one again because I'm going to save that. All right, stop doing it to me. I want my head to be crushed. I want hers to be crushed. On the other hand, there's yes. So what I'm going to do this time is attach a hideous laughter.
Oh.
On the Death's Head.
I know you were so disappointed.
Well, that's going to be my intention.
Cool. They still have magic resistance.
Oh. Yeah. No. Yes. Just do it.
I mean, okay. 15.
16. I've done it. Finally passed the spell. It worked. Okay, so I go. A man walks into a bar. Ouch! At her, and for some reason she starts laughing uproariously to the point where she is actually prone. And also, there's something else, isn't there?
Can't believe that works.
You say?
Yeah.
I can't believe that works.
The fallen prone become incapacitated and unable to stand up for the duration, which is a minute. And I just got to concentrate on it.
Please, she can save on her turn. Please.
I think it's end of her turn.
Yes.
Yeah.
So
admittedly, wisdom saving throw each turn or every time it takes damage is the other point.
Good. Right.
But,
it is now her turn. You can still move. Sorry, you have movement and a bonus action if you want it.
Okay. What were you saying, Adam? A very subtle hint. Can I? Ooh, I've used up my action.
Yes.
Can I go up to them and try and grapple them again? I understand I may not be able to do the grappling bit this turn, but can I get in a position where I'm ready to grapple them again? You see what I mean?
Yes, you can run up behind them where they are currently prone on the floor. As they leap towards Abernathy, she just collapses to the ground, giggling, and this sort of very high-pitched, quite unnerving giggle in a little ball on the ground, just laughing to herself, but she is clearly furious through the giggles.
Gotcha. So actually, also what I thought I want to do, so what I'm going to do with my whole movement is go to wherever my dagger is, pick up the dagger, and then try and get as close to her as possible.
Yes, you can. That's absolutely fine. You do.
Have I still got a bonus action?
Yes.
Who needs some healing?
You can't heal on a bonus action. You cast a spell as your action.
Oh, fuck it. Yeah, sorry, of course. Yeah, nothing else to do.
Right. On her turn, she will not do the cool thing I had planned, and will instead roll to try and stop having the giggles. There it is. That's an 18.
Fine. Well, that didn't last long.
She skipped their turn, though, right?
Yeah.
It has skipped their turn. She straightens up and is still trying to lunge towards Abernathy, but doesn't have time to before Cohen. It is your turn.
Nice one. Okay, so obviously Cohen's not been rolling fantastically, so I went and used the break resourcefully to find some good luck charms. So I've got some actual swords now. So hopefully this will go better.
That was a brilliant review.
Very good. Very good.
Right, so yes. Obviously, I've got two friends that are not exactly the healthiest they've ever been right next to this spooky person. So I'm going to attack first, narrate second. I think that's what we've learned. So that is a 21.
Hits, yeah.
So I am going to use a mobile flourish on this. So yes, all the rainbows spark up the side of the sword and then gather in the tip, and there's a boom as it takes oh no, wait, this isn't a d6 anymore, this is a d8. 11 damage.
She takes 11 damage.
She takes 11 damage, rather. And then she is pushed 10 foot away from the gang.
Yeah.
And then I, as part of that, I get to follow her without consuming my movement for the turn and engage her there, away from the friends. At which point I try to attack her again. And what's that? 16?
That just hits, yes.
Okay. So then I've realised nothing says I can't use multiple blade flourishes in the same turn.
You can. So, yeah, that's totally fine.
I'm going to use a defensive flourish this time so that I'm less likely to get smacked about while I'm over here. Yep. So that's this. That's 10 points of damage.
You, as she straightens, the giggles subsiding and lunges towards Abernathy again, you just leap in from behind. And how do you move her 10 feet? How does that happen?
So the 10 feet of movement is like a concentrated burst of energy at the end of the blade. So when it strikes her, it propels her away.
So you slice and propel her away, running straight after and hitting in again, and hit her twice with both swords, and she is now engaged with you and away from your friends.
Yes.
By the power of tolerance.
And my AC is now 23. For one round. We got there. Good luck charms.
Yeah, that worked.
Yep. Abernathy, what would you like to do?
Paint her out of existence.
Well, I think I'm going to do some healing first. So I'm going to twin a healing word at second level. Sorry, just dealing with the admin first. And it's obviously Ashakti looks very bad.
Ashakti looks hurt and upset and covered in paint and grease and water and just like a dog that's fallen into a well and someone's brought out, just rolling around the floor, just this is horrible. I hate all of it.
Yeah, so the kind of was it originally blue, I think, for Ashakti, and was it purple for Lilith?
Yep.
I think kind of watercolor streams come out.
Wonderful.
My arms don't work as well on this anyway. So Ashakti gets 10.
Oh,
nice.
2 falls on the dice. Lilith. 7.
Woo!
Better than nothing. Fantastic.
Yeah.
Nice.
Now the big question. I don't know whether I should use the brush again or not to wash the paint off. To continue to wash the paint off Kindle and hold them in that state.
Don't do it. Don't do it.
That's a complete waste of
I've only
use.
got Kindle.
Yeah, Kindle is not a problem really
Point.
anymore.
Kindle's a much easier problem anyway. For now. For now, unless we give them time to.
I'm going to say nothing.
In that case,
Yeah, don't.
No, you
I think that's wise.
You've said enough.
Oh, I see.
In that case,
Kindle.
Abernathy's going to. I take it. I'm not going to cross over melee with anyone if I can go and just help a Shakti up.
Yeah, you will walk into the grease though.
Yeah.
Please do it. Please do it. You don't know the grease is there. It's underwater.
Yeah, I've said it. I've said it.
Back in the well.
I've
Please,
said it now.
please,
So
yes.
Roll me a dexterity saving throw.
this is why you should never do characterful things in combat. Now that is a 16.
What's your
but-
spell save?
DC's 15.
Yeah, you managed to sort of slide a little bit, you managed to get over and start helping her up, and the two of you are now together. That's fine. Both covered in all of it. It's horrible. Right.
You're now
Shakti,
more
this-
covered because I'm on you.
Yeah. Ashaki, it is your turn. What would you like to do?
How far away is the
The death's head?
Yeah,
Within 30 feet of you,
Maybe I'll-
not far away.
finish off. And Kindle's kind of like next to us.
And Kindle is about 15 feet away and is being grabbed in this watery paint grease hand. The worst hand.
In Scotland.
As I know, we've had a poo hand in this campaign as well, so...
Yeah.
What do you about Lilith?
Oh God. I will. So Kindle can't move, but they can save on their turn.
Kindle... What was that, Anna?
They're restrained, yeah.
They're restrained.
And how fast are they reforming paint-wise?
It looks like they might be reformed into their full paint selves at the end of their next turn.
End of their next turn. And that's... Okay, yeah. Yeah, I can do that. Okay, so I will Chaos Bolt them.
Kindle.
Kindle, yes.
Wow. Kindle's currently a commoner. Kindle has 1 hit point.
Yeah, this is.
Oh, well, in that case,
Massive
can I...
overkill.
Okay, in that case, yes. Okay, sorry. In that case, can I run up to them? Run up to the hat? Oh no, I'm in grease. Oh boy.
The hand can deal damage to them.
The hand deals
No.
damage. Yeah.
And the hand will. Sorry to.
Sorry. Okay. The hand will deal damage before their next turn.
Yeah, they're there, so I just get to go.
Oh. Okay. In that case, I'll Chaos Bolt the Death's Head. Sorry, I was getting worried that
much
the
better
Kindle would
idea.
suddenly reappear.
Much better idea.
Please
I will-
do.
Chaos Bolt the Death's Head at 2nd level.
Yep.
I'm like clinging on to Abernathy with one hand, looking just like really like maybe this will work, but not terribly helpful. Hopeful. And I'm no, just no. Just
You need to do the total. Come on.
thing. 15.
15 just hits.
Yes. Yeah, have faith in yourself.
Wow, I did not have faith in myself.
Just a slight camera note. If you lean forward for your dice, you sort of disappear.
Sorry, yeah.
It's all right.
Steve did tell me
Really
that.
intense.
Oh no! Oh.
The D8s.
That's exactly
We're
what
6
Chris
and a
was talking
They're
about.
still doing it, yeah.
We're a 6 and a 7, which is great. And I'm gonna do that as psychic damage because I don't like her.
Okay. What's the
Don't-
damage total?
18.
Okay.
Yes, that's really good.
The Death's Head, they've been knocked back by Cohen. She already has taken a lot of hits, and as this burns into her, she doesn't use her reaction. She looks awful, like she's on her last legs.
Okay.
Didn't she use her reaction?
Why is
No, because she can use her reaction
Saving
once.
for.
To use it once when it would be a death blow, honestly.
Okay.
Okay, we've got to give her 2 death blows then.
Yeah.
Right.
Someone had 2 swords and 2 attacks.
Indeed.
She goes before
Did
him.
someone say swords?
Ashakti, I'm assuming you don't want to move.
I'll fall over if I move. I'm gonna
Then you
try.
don't.
I'm gonna try and move just to see if I fall over. Can I do that?
Yes, of course you can.
11 on the dice. 13.
It's a
I
dexterity
fall
saving
over.
throw against your own spell save
fall
DC, so
over.
you tell me.
I try and take one step and just slide back down again.
Yeah,
But happy because I got her a little bit.
Yeah, this whole chamber is now a messy water paint disaster. It just grease, horrible nightmare. Lilith, it's your turn. What would you like to do?
I would like to crush Kindle to death.
Yeah!
As Kindle is there reforming, the paints are streaming up their arms, desperately trying to regain. They're anxiously looking around. They catch your eye, Lilith. They catch your eye, Viorica, because you're nearby as well. They're just terrified, and there's a sense of, but I'm a god, and they just about get out. But Anna, how does the hand crush them?
How?
Yeah.
Can it be more gruesome than I entirely want it to be? Because
Do you want me to describe the gruesomeness of it?
no. As in, like, I would like it so that it actually the paint goes inside their mouth.
Yep.
And it like literally like goes inside to a point where it like comes out of their nose and then dripples out of their eyes.
Yep.
Point of like paint dropping down. Like that. Literally, kind of like I will like, literally, and Lilith is just almost artistically enjoying this.
The hand crushes
The
around
only art that
Kindle.
she can apparently do.
The hand crushes around Kindle, and the paint just seeps and pours and just absorbs into them in the way they're trying to, but worse. And they sort of try and scream, but their mouth just oozes out this horrible mixture of paint, blood. It's a mess. And as they try and scream, their whole body buckles and bursts in places as paint just pours out of them, and the hand is crushing a lifeless mess of a body with paint oozing and pouring out of various parts of them. The other dimensional threat of this mad painter gone forever.
Then the hand is going to kind of like, you know, I want it made of everything basically liquid, but still kind of like shake it off and then turn towards. It can't move. It can only do it the next turn. But then we'll basically look towards the death's head and just be like, and I'll be like, so you're next.
What an artist dies in thee.
You also have a bonus action and movement if you want it.
How far away from the death's head am I?
20 feet, not far.
I'll move 10 feet.
Okay.
And that'll be all I do. Thanks.
Cool. Viorica,
the grease, preferably.
You're around the grease, don't worry. Viorica, it is your turn. The death's head is 10 feet away from you. They're the only enemy left. And they are currently locked in combat with Cohen and looking a complete mess.
I think the last thing I'm going to do is going to be to try and cast Hold Person on them. Going to make your life a lot easier, Cohen.
Nice.
Interesting. So I am making
that's the plan.
What kind of saving throw is it? Wisdom.
16.
Wisdom 16.
16, yeah.
They roll with advantage as before.
Yeah.
Please.
Oh.
Natural fucking 20.
Effectiveness is my middle name.
Right. They shake that off. You have a bonus action and movement.
Oh no. I should have just tried to. Oh well. I can't do a second. I'm going to try and. Oh no, I'm not either, am I?
So I was laughing at Anna's horn. Don't worry.
I'm not in a place where I'm going to get disadvantages on movement if I try and go towards the death's head.
You can get up to the death's head, no problem at all.
I'll get up to the death's head as well then, with the dagger out.
Okay. it is her turn, and I have a Hail Mary that I'm going to take. Yeah,
What does that mean? What does that
I have Hail Mary pass is like a last ditch attempt. I have one last thing I can try and do with her, and I'm going to try and do it. So
Bail.
she can't
Please
do that
don't
without the brush.
say stuff like that, Jaya. You've got a really bad habit of saying.
See, you might call it concerning. I call it whimsy.
She is going to make a run, looking at herself, a complete mess, like covered in paint and water and grease and blood, and she's definitely very badly hurt and in a bit of a state. Looking at the two of you right next to her, she clearly steals herself and then just breaks for it and runs towards Abernathy. Cohen and Viorica both get attacks of opportunity.
Nice. I will take that. Do you want to go? Well, do you want to go first?
Sure. I think Cohen would probably slash at her, seeing as she's nearly down.
Yeah.
Probably, yes.
And so we'll take a d20. And I'm going to try an experimental rolling technique where we get to roll down the sword and into the box.
Yes.
This is destined to be a disaster.
So it rolled perfectly. However, the number itself was only a 6, which even with an added 7 is 13, and we know that this person is a bit better than that. So
15 AC. So you slash out, and she rolls underneath and starts pegging it towards Abernathy. Viorica, you still have attack opportunity if you want it.
Yeah, no, it's going to be going with the dagger.
Okay.
And so having just run up towards her, I'm imagining if I sort of go to the right of Cohen, she goes to the left, as it were.
Yes.
And so I'm going to turn around and leap and try and get the dagger like in between her shoulder blades. That's what I'm trying to do.
Please do.
Wow, Viorica's gone like action hero out of nowhere.
Never happened before, and isn't going to happen this time because that's a 13.
Sorry, it doesn't hit her. She dodges out the way.
Wait. I'm just going to check because I don't know if that's true. Hang on.
Oh, you rolled a 13.
Yeah.
What's your strength modifier?
No, sorry. The total is 13. I rolled an 8.
Sorry. Okay. She dodges back with you and runs towards Abernathy and is going to run through the crease because she has to do what she wants to do. Dexterity saving throw, which she has magic resistance. She has an advantage on this. And a massive dex modifier. That's a 27.
Fine. I'm just on the floor. It's fine. I'll just get
my attempted leap because it missed. I'm just flat on the floor now.
Yes. She is going to grab Abernathy, and for once in this whole fight, she still has her action. Now, to do this with you, you do get a saving throw on it.
Is she trying to leave?
No, she's not. Because I'm going to cast counterspell.
You'll counterspell?
Yep. I saved this.
You're going to have to roll it.
Okay.
Lilith, come on.
What do I have to roll?
Hang on.
I'm sorry, Ed, slow down. You're going to have to say that again. Say it again.
My internet connection is unstable. I think I need to stop talking for a little bit.
Okay, it's fine.
What do I need to roll, Chris?
You need to roll me. What is it on counterspell? It's your modifier.
Well, this is a level 3, so
that's not enough.
Right.
It's a 7th level spell.
Okay.
What?
If this casting is 4th level or higher, make an ability check using your spell casting ability. The DC equals 10 plus the spell's level, so i.e. 17. Yeah. On a success, the creature's spell fails and has no success. So
yes,
I have to add only my intelligence.
Right?
I'm not
spellcasting ability.
Spellcasting ability modifier. So your intelligence.
5.
Yes.
Okay, so I need to get above a 17, right? Or a 17?
Yeah. You need to hit a 17. So 12 or higher.
Okay, I rolled a 13.
Oh!
5 means 18. They stay. And the way I kind of want it to be, sounds Chris, is for the hand to magically, like, imagine if they were like teleporting up, it just kind of goes woof, down. I said, you're next.
It's like a Monty Python hand, like a foot coming down. Like the...
yeah. Really that. I'm not out of third level spell slots. Yeah.
They leap. Fantastic use of counterspell.
Really good.
She leaps and grabs Abernathy and is trying to cast a spell, but suddenly realizes she can't leave. She can't do the thing that she wanted to do, and she is now standing within 5 feet of Abernathy, just glaring at him. That's the end of her turn. She gets her reaction back. Yay. Cohen, it's your turn. What would you like to do?
That was amazing, Joe.
Making a pair of attacks.
To attack her physically, you have to go through the grease.
Okay.
One next, man.
I'll do that first then.
Yeah, grease. I love my grease.
I technically just rolled 2 d20s and got a 2 and a 5. I don't know what we want to do with those. If one of those is the roll for the grease.
Okay, Jaya, you run forward and fall over in the grease. You've now face planted in the grease. Technically, because of the way the grease works, you have fallen prone. You could probably still throw something if you wanted to, or a spell.
Do it.
Spells, yeah, I do those sometimes. Most of them are weird and not particularly suited for fighting, but that's going to be ridiculous. It's kind of unnecessary too. I will. Fast friends is just silly. I will.
Don't cast friends.
I'll give inspiration to is what I'll do. Let me just go to skills. No, not skills. The actions, and tick it off. And yeah, as he slips on the floor, face first, and looks up.
Join me.
He just shouts, "No, you're on your feet. You're on your feet."
I'm on the floor too.
You're on the floor again.
We're all on the floor.
You're all just rolling around in this grease puddle.
I'm on the floor.
Cavorting in the grease.
Yorica's on the floor. You're on the floor.
He just like reaches out his hand towards you in the puddle of grease, and it's like, "You can do it. Yeah. I'll get up later. You finish it first."
Yep, that happens. Right. Cohen, that's the end of your turn. Abernathy, what would you like to do? She's right in front of you.
Finish her.
I think I think he's gonna look at her and just say, "You've tried to kill my friends once too often," and then try to stab her with a dagger.
Yeah!
I feel like once
Stab an appy
too often.
I think that might be your first attack roll.
Second.
No, second. I have punched someone.
Okay.
Didn't he try and club someone with an umbrella back in?
Less
from a-
poetic, fine.
Third.
Less poetic.
This is the first
fine.
one with an actual weapon, even though I had to make it myself. And I rolled a natural 20. Anyway, I can take a photo of that.
No, it's fine. I trust you. I believe you. And if anything, it's kismet. Roll me the damage. It's 2d4 plus your dexterity mod.
Is it not 1d4?
Yeah, you critted.
Oh, critted, yeah. Thank you. Right, 7 points of damage.
Wow.
She had 6 hit points left.
Oh.
She could negate the damage, but I don't think she will.
Oh.
Describe how you kill her.
I think it's just a hurried kind of just literally just stop it, kind of just thrust it out, probably just straight into her chest, and is surprised by the force with which he does it.
She's surprised as well. She was not expecting this from you, of all people, and She doesn't really know what to do with this. Just looking, staring at the dagger, slumps to her knees and stays staring at the dagger as her eyes cloud over, kneeling in front of you. Gone.
Abernathy just drops the dagger and kind of drops down to his knees as well, just breathing heavily.
We are out of initiative.
So what does she look like now? Does she look like a skull or a person?
The skull effect has, as far as you can tell, as you sort of, if you move around her, stopped. It's just a lady. Big lady.
Viorica wants to rush over to Abernathy and
roll me a dexterity saving throw.
You have to stand up in the grease first. Try and stop.
I don't know how we've managed to turn such a tense combat into slapstick.
Yeah.
Again.
No idea how that happened. How did that happen?
Unbelievable.
Dex, you say?
A dexterity saving throw, yes, please.
16.
Yeah, you're good.
You run. You do what you want to do. Yeah.
The first person who managed to get through this grease unscathed.
Like a ballet dancer.
Indeed.
Abernathy.
Is he?
Abernathy's just standing there in the middle of it, not moving.
On his knees now.
Well,
Sorry.
Because
Yes.
you're down on your
Viorica,
knees.
you were saying. What are you doing?
Yeah. So Abernathy's down on his knees, looking, I presume, quite shocked at what he's just managed to do.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Viorica's going to run over because if we cast our minds back 3 or 4 episodes, when Viorica first killed somebody, Lilith came running over and said, "It's okay, come on, step up and move off." So he's going to try and do the same thing. Unfortunately, he's not quite as good as Lilith. So he grabs Abernathy's face in his hand and looks and goes, look at me now. Everything's okay. We've just won.
God, that's terrifying.
Yeah.
As you all sort of breathe, the grease effect does slowly fade, so I'm going to stop doing that. Cohen and Ashakti are both lying on the floor around this. Viorica and Abernathy are kneeling in front of each other. This other kneeling huge figure is still next to them. Lilith, what are you doing?
I'm going to take the hand and pick up Kindle.
There's not much to pick up.
Going to pick up the head or whatever is nearest. Yeah.
It's like a hand going into like a jar full of sweets and just picking up as many as you can. Like you pick up as many giblets as you can.
Yeah. And then I walk as it goes next to me, walk towards everybody and place it down next to the death's head. Well done.
Yes, well done, everyone.
Here.
That was awful. That was
It's
truly awful.
But
Mr.
it had to be
Whistlebugger,
done.
we'll just go get a cup of tea, and then it'll be fine because we'll go and get a cup of tea. Okay?
Now, where's that person that we that brought us here?
They can probably get tea.
Behind you all, stepping into this horrific scene, Milil is sort of daintily stepping over the various messes, looking around going, oh no,
Excuse me, you don't get to be disdainful. We've just done everything you asked us to and nearly died in the process. If you could be a bit more grateful, I'd appreciate that.
I'm not being disdainful. I'm being well, this room is this painting is ruined. And you look around and all of the detail of this paint world is carnage. It's done.
You're welcome.
Thank you. Thank you. Walks over towards.
Could we help to?
Go ahead.
Could we help to clear up to fix it?
Well, one of you has the power to. Looks at Abernathy.
No, I don't think that's going to be possible.
Are you not going to stay? And
staring at like hands out in front of him, one with a blooded dagger and the other one with a paintbrush. Just.
Are you not going to help me restore it?
And then it just lets them both drop and stands up and away from them. I think it will be a long time before I pick up either of those things.
I'm gonna go and give him a hug. Big hug.
I'm gonna join in on the outside of that.
Yeah, go on then. Cohen?
I think Cohen looks at it and it's like,
Isn't that, this is the telepathy. Cohen?
Yes!
all right, fine. And he goes and joins in around the edge.
Okay.
A cuddle puddle.
There's a big old cuddle puddle. Milo steps over and while you're doing this, picks up the brush and just looks at it and spins it between their fingers. Well, I'll have to find a new artist. I'm sure one will turn up.
Don't take this the wrong way, but I hope it's not very soon.
Is painting with the brush not good? It's supposed to be good.
It made Mr. Whistlepocket go all mean, and I didn't like it. And I just think you should really think about whether it makes people mean and maybe not do it.
I think people should know what they're getting into. Like most things that are creative, they have wonderful outlets and also can be quite damaging if they're not done well. I recommend that if you do want to use this, which is not my recommendation, but if you are, I recommend that people should know before, rather than some weird illusions and foretellings and things like that. They should know. It should be their choice.
I wanted it to be a mystery, but I suppose if it led to this, looking around, looking at the bits of Kindle, and this, looking at Abernathy, looking horrified, then I have made an error.
What you have made is beautiful, but it may damage the people who make it. And surely that is not worth beauty that is created.
All art. Sorry.
People suffer for their art.
All art takes something from the creator, but you are right. I will have a think. I will have a think.
Can you make tea, Miss Milial?
Can I make tea? There's a lovely tea rooms painting.
I don't think we have time
tea
for
paint.
Tea.
I find it doesn't taste that much different with a little bit of paint in it anyway.
I think if you want, I think this world is not right for people right now. I will take you home, and then I will work it out from there.
Could you possibly paint away all of the crimes that we have done? Potentially. All of them.
If anything, this has proven that I shouldn't interfere.
Damn shit balls.
Maybe just one more time. Just one last time.
One last hurrah.
Yeah, just one last time for us.
They have stopped listening to you. Sort of meandered off. Abernathy, if you want to go after them and say something, please do. But they've wandered off from this lot of chapel folks.
I would just say to everyone else, I think everything that we have to do now, we have to just do together. But it seems like we're getting better at that.
I'm going to put up a hand. Didn't our plan, the sort of reason why we came here, was to get the brush so that we could recreate the painting so that we could clear our name. Do you not want to do that anymore?
Seems like quite a long time ago, doesn't it?
It does.
Well, there's not much point in drawing out a cult that we just murdered the leader of, is there?
Oh, yes.
But the thing will still be on our backs.
Yes, it's more our reputation in the city I'm worried about.
When those cult people, the lady and the Merkel person, if they got here through the ruby that wasn't a ruby, that was a portal, it means they came through Alethra's house, which means that the cult people were in Alethra's house, which means that they might already kind of know that there's all like cult people up in this.
Well,
I might have an idea.
This is after you.
I might have an idea about the paintings. Just give me a moment, and we'll go after Millie.
There might be.
Oh, nice. Okay. Right. So we should definitely take back some trophies to prove what we have done in this room.
What?
Kindle is already rather, yes, mangled. But should we take the head or an ear, perhaps, of this cult leader, or
I don't know who they are.
The silver,
just an ear.
I don't know. This is I've never done. It's not exactly my forte.
Lilith, you're smart. Just tell us what to do, all right?
I don't know, but I'm worried about my fiance.
Yeah, me too.
Anna, can Lilith please roll me an intelligence check?
Yep. About chopping off ears.
Nobody else.
Tip, don't.
No, I did my cool rolls earlier. This is like an 8.
Never mind.
Yeah.
Steve, what was Abernathy doing?
Just kind of follows on behind them. And I need to ask a question. It might help us out.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
I know I've been able to affect this world somewhat. I mean, like, shows off the armor effect that might still be up.
Oh, very nice.
I mean, will this exist if I take it into the real world? Can I make changes here and transfer them over with us?
I mean, well, it's made of paint.
Well, I know, but what I had in mind was, and then minor illusion, the triptych.
Ooh.
Like,
well, if it's a painting, I don't see why the painting itself shouldn't go with you. It would need something to be painted onto, and everything here is made of paint.
That is true.
I've got an idea.
Right, well, I'll take this from.
Well, just could you paint it onto somebody's body and then transfer it from the body to
scarf? Okay, let's leave the bodies out of it.
All right.
You've got a large oni.
I'll take that back to the group and see if we can take something from there.
As you turn around,
I should say thank you. I should say thank you. I know that.
Yeah. Yes.
I mean, some of this is, I guess, partly because of you, but I know you didn't realize that. But I know you also tried to help us get through it, and we appear to have got through this bit at least. Thank you.
You're welcome. Obviously, I have a Mortality is very odd. Mortals are very odd. I think
I
I've
agree entirely.
Yes, I think I've made some presumptions about how you will react to certain things, and presumptions about what it means to give mortals things that I'll need to reconsider. Well, if you want to take the brush with you, you're more than welcome to. Just
I really don't think that is a good idea.
No, I need to decide how I'm going to give it out in future.
Milil, the oracles currently still paint. When they walk through that portal, will they be okay?
As long as he doesn't get wet.
Whatever.
You're made of paint.
Gotcha. Right.
Look what it did to Kindle.
Definitely too posh to wash now.
Chris, I would like to cast another spell, but I don't know.
With the brush?
I would prefer to be able to cast it without the brush. But it is one that has a component element to it. But so it would depend on. I meant to have diamonds worth 300 gold pieces. I could minor illusion them first, and then use them up.
They wouldn't be a diamond now, would it? They'd be paint.
They'd be painting of a diamond, but might be worth 300 gold pieces.
It's like gilding the lily, Steve. It's painting the diamond. It doesn't really do anything.
Well, Jaya definitely picked up. I can't remember how much it was, but some rubies and stuff.
Well, they're not diamonds, are they? They're rubies.
It was a ruby worth 90 GP. It ain't making 300 gold of diamonds.
All right.
The thing is, I know that Abernathy would at least try and cast it because he would feel that maybe he has that power within him, but he wouldn't understand the spell enough necessarily to know the different component elements of it.
I see.
As a sorcerer.
If you try and cast the spell that you're thinking of, it wouldn't work because you don't have the. I think if you even try to start casting that spell, it wouldn't work because you haven't got the material components to even start the spell off.
Okay. Thank you.
Would you like me to take you home?
Yes.
Yes, please.
Would you like these to come with you? Pointing at the bodies.
Yes.
Yes.
All right.
Not sure about bringing Kindle back with us. I don't know what we'd do with them. But I mean, I can only think that we could hold on to these two, pointing to the cultists, just for proof, really, even though I don't know what they prove at the moment.
They're all here because of my errors, and I don't want them here anymore. If you don't want to take them, that's fine. I'll just remove them.
We will take them. I will look after them for once they are in our world.
Very well. They concentrate, and again, it's like they're painting with their hand, and they paint a circular portal, and it starts to move through the room and move over you, not stepping into, moving over you. Is there anything you want to do before it passes over all of you?
Say thank you again, but
what?
I have something just to say to Malil.
Mm-hmm.
I never had. Well, these things that I can do now, I haven't had them long. I have no idea where they came from. Do you know? You seem to know.
I do. Well, you seem the right kind of soul. And the portal washes over everyone.
You weren't planning to paint a triptych, were you, Steve? Because you didn't.
Well, I did minor illusion them, but yeah, we didn't transfer them onto the scarf, did we?
It was this whole, we're going to do it. And
we didn't specifically state that we did.
You didn't know.
No, looks at GM.
There is a faint. You all have this very strange sense again of like you had when you came in here, the sort of traveling through space and time and across planes, and you still covered in paint, still covered in water and grease, and a complete mess, stumble out into the Tillerton guest house.
Oh shit!
Exactly where you stood off. The bodies, boom, boom, all land with you. And around you, there are hundreds of voices shouting as they're like torches are lit, guards are leaping up, flaming fists are leaping up. You briefly see Alethra and her father and a lot of the other people that you know. This whole room is crowded full of people who are all just leaning in, shouting and yelling and trying to make head or tail of what's going on. Unless anyone has anything in particular they want to do, I want to do a time leap at that point. But I'm very happy to have people say what they want to do.
The Oracle is going to say, "Do you know who I am?" But apart from
Lilith is going to cast prestidigitation just on herself and clean everything off.
I think Cohen uses thaumaturgy to make his voice louder and just goes, "Okay, we can explain everything."
Yeah.
Excellent.
I think Abernathy just reaches for Shakti's hand.
Yeah, I was going to say.
Oh.
Yeah.
Cool. You will be able to explain what happened. You will be arrested, of course.
Again.
Yeah.
Definitely.
It wasn't very nice. I didn't like it.
And you will all be taken to the Flaming Fist fortress. Same thing as last time. You will all be interviewed independently of each other.
Oh, I don't like that.
By Liara, who is the head of the Flaming Fist.
Oh no.
What do you all tell her? Who wants to go first? Raise a hand if that's easier.
Oh gosh.
No one. Okay, Steve.
I
What
think
does Abernathy say?
Abernathy would just tell her everything, just everything from the beginning, right? As much as he can remember, right? Like you were very kind to us last time, and let me start by saying we didn't mean to escape.
Cool. In the montage, that's where that cuts out. Who else would talk to her, and what would they say?
Jeez.
Oh no.
I think
Continuing from that point in the story.
Sure.
Ooh, yeah.
Basically,
Sorry,
if we can have
a question.
if we can have 5 or 6 intercuts of like what your character would say, what you would say in character in an interview situation about what happened. Viorica, you've got one.
Look, this had nothing to do with me.
Lilith.
Ooh.
I really don't know why you're not thanking us, really. You should be kissing our boots.
Ashakti, Cohen.
There was a lot of magic stuff that I can't explain. And then cut.
Jesus Christ. I think in Ashakti's retelling, she's like really carefully trying to paint Lakshmana out of this picture. Really awkwardly. And like post hoc, like this will surely help.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's basically what happened.
Is it you try and go through the whole story and at every single point going, and Lakshmana had nothing to do with it? About everything.
Well, maybe, yeah. Like that.
After you are all interviewed, you are put back in a cell together.
Oh.
You are not kept there for long.
Ah.
Within about half an hour, Kara and Alethra come to pick up Lilith.
Yes.
And you are... Do you go... They're just going to take you home if you let them.
Yeah.
They're not going to wait for anyone else unless you ask them to. No?
Oh, can we wait?
Do you know what's happening, or are you just leaving us?
Kara steps up to the...
You gave about people leaving people.
Kara steps up and gives you the biggest bear hug and lifts you off the ground and just...
Obviously.
Yeah. You... How? What?
I have learned very little and a lot.
Well, and Alethra's there going, oh, my dear, okay, let's go home, let's clean you up. Well, you're clean, perfectly clean, but...
Is everyone going to be able to leave as well?
Oh, yes, it's, we're just... Well, they've all got places to go. They've all got homes to...
I'd like to wait until they've been picked up.
Okay. Okay.
It's like sitting on the other side of the bars, being like,
Ashakti, Radhika comes running in and just like cannonballs into the bars and what the fuck? What the fuck?
This is my new life of not being a criminal. It's going really badly.
Big hug, lots of like hair stroking, like just everything back, and again tries to lead you away.
Can we wait like 10 minutes?
What for?
Well, it's just that Lilith tried to leave and then I yelled at her, so now I feel a bit guilty.
Who's Lilith?
hello.
I have the coolest friends now. Lilith's like super powerful. She's like a wizard, and she's just like so cool.
I'm enjoying this in front of the two fiancés as well.
I'm finally picking you up. Look, I'm finally picking you up. She's like the coolest. She does all magic, and she like taught me how to do the magic without like accidentally burning people. Like I do still burn people, but like on purpose this time. And I'm going to be really careful not to accidentally hurt people, apart from when like sometimes. But I'm just going to be really careful. And also, I work in a shop. Sorry. 10 minutes.
Razza sort of sits there, arms crossed. Couple of small steps to the door as Myrtle walks up to the bars and just literally arms crossed, looking at you, Abernathy, one eyebrow raised.
Oh, I'm so glad to see you. I'm so sorry.
You idiot.
Yes,
Big
I know.
hug. Big old hug. Big hug.
I cast fireball on her.
Oh no! Holy God! That was
Myrtle
awful.
had to die.
Oh, I didn't even manage to pick up any breakfast. I'm sorry.
I've got plenty of breakfast, you big... You wait another 5 minutes, no one else turns up.
Miss.
Oh, I'm sorry, my internet went
Lady.
and missed off.
Oh, it's fine. You wait another 5 minutes and no one else turns up.
Don't wait around on my account.
Oh man!
Or maybe
Lady Tillerton can tell them, and we can all go together. Because can't you?
Captain Portier is waiting through all of this, looks and goes, as long as someone escorts you to a safe place, I don't care where you go. You are free to go.
Viorica?
She's a patriarch, so she can
Yes.
be trustworthy.
Come with me, you fool.
You sure?
Yes, of course.
I'll be fine. I'll be fine on my own.
No, you won't.
No, we're going to look after you and get your job, remember, Viorica?
You're so right. I won't. Please help me. Yeah, and he runs after you and is like a little puppy dog, like going, "What do I need to do now?"
Okay.
Cohen?
I'm coming.
We know you don't need anyone to help you, Cohen, obviously. Just if
Well,
you
good.
wanted to.
As long as we all understand that, then I don't think I have a reason to object. He's like smirked. He's like smirking the whole time he's saying all of this.
Okay. As you all step outside, you're stepping into the courtyard of the fortress, of the sea tower. As you step across to the middle of the fortress, there's a faint peal of thunder, and it's starting to rain.
Viorica?
I grab hold of you. Yeah. I'm gonna grab hold of you.
I
and
give
then,
you my coat.
Are we still dirty? Am I still covered in grease?
Yes, the paint is running off Viorica, and as it does, it's running. It will get through. It's water, and the paint runs through Viorica's wound, and it's starting to bleed again, and the situation is looking pretty bad.
Spells.
It's fine. I just need to get to my drive.
Diamond. Does
back
anyone
inside.
have a diamond?
Everyone looks a bit confusedly around.
Alethra?
I've got this, and I hand you my ruby.
I
Not
don't
on
think
me.
that'll work. Right, well, let's try and keep him dry, and let's find something. I have a feeling this will work, but it might take all I have left.
Get back inside, Viorka, now.
Okay, so I'll go straight back into the sea tower.
As you turn around to try and move, the strength is failing you and you fall unconscious.
Oh man, I'm gonna.
Can I cast at least Spare the Dying?
Yeah.
To
Stay
so
by.
that it's not taking to stabilize. So it's not taking.
Yeah, of course you can.
saving throws.
Does
He
that
is
work?
unconscious on the he's unconscious on the ground, and the courtyard ground is earth, so it's starting to get a bit muddy, but Viorka's just lying there with all of you sort of standing around, not sure what to do. Like someone asked for a diamond, but no one has one on them.
Trying to be an umbrella, by the way. Okay,
Yeah.
I was wondering.
I mean, you're all trying to cover him and protect
Terrible,
him, but
ineffective umbrella.
it doesn't matter how much you help him. In rain, all the paint effects fade.
Has Spare the Dying stopped the open wound from bleeding?
He's still unconscious and stable, but there's nothing else happening.
Move him inside. Now.
Okay. I'll
Cara,
you.
help me. Cara, help me lift.
Oh, okay, I won't help.
No, everyone can lift. I don't care.
Cara's really
I'll help
strong, and
lift.
I'm not. So
Cara just picks up Viorica and walks him in. Like it's no effort at all. For her.
yeah, I'm not helping.
As you're all stumbling inside with Viorica, unconscious body, trying to work out what to do and how to fix this. Nice, Ed.
The color scheme on your camera really has this effect.
Well.
Viorica. It's faded to black for you. You're unconscious. And you recognize where you are as a bright light sears into your closed eyes again. And as you open them, you recognize the cloud. You recognize the view. You recognize the figure sat. And once again, they turn and pat the cloud next to them and say, "Have a seat."
I do.
Did you achieve what you wanted to do?
I think I said all I wanted to do was make beauty. And I think all we did was destroy some. But I think now the city is a much more beautiful place. So, I don't know. But I also, I helped. I think. I helped people who I wanted to help. And I got some measure of revenge. Some measure of revenge for what they did to my mothers. My siblings always made our life hell. And that horrible death's head killed the other one. So I don't know. It doesn't feel like the revenge was worth it now. I don't know what I want to do.
Revenge. Revenge is never worth it.
No. It's not beautiful. It's not even a relief. It just means you don't have anything driving you on in the same way.
No. The wonderful thing about being the Morning Lord is understanding failure, mistakes, death, and the rebirth that can follow.
Well, I've done this twice now.
I think it was once prorogued.
The last time I did this, you said I could go back. It was everything I wanted. Now I don't know what I would gain. If I could keep singing, if I could go to the bullywugs, if I could go and sing with them, then I think I'd be happy. Maybe they don't need anything. They would just be happy to hear my song.
You're still alive.
Am I?
Yes.
What the hell am I doing here? The heaven am I doing it? Sorry.
I'm sorry, I have to say that again. Say it again, Ed.
Or what the heaven am I doing here? Sorry.
Sorry. Because last time you wanted to go back, and I wasn't sure about your reasoning, but I let you anyway. Because I thought you might get to this point.
What is this point?
You've stopped hurting.
Yes. Yes, there is no pain. There is no pain anymore. There is regret. There's loss. But there is no pain.
Then be reborn, Viorica Jordash. Go and bring your song to as many as you can. And I'll be there with
Thank you. That would mean everything. That would be everything.
Then that is
I
how
will
it
go
will
forth,
be.
I will spread the word of the Morning Lord, and I will sing in
That's
your
nice,
praise.
but,
All right.
That would be grand, but you could... No, you can. No, totally do. Sorry, I didn't... not very modest. Sure, if you'd like to, why not?
I don't have to sing in your praise. I can merely sing of you and let those who have never heard of you have a glimpse into your life.
I would like
the
that.
life that you can bring to them.
I would like that very much.
I will sing at every sunrise. If I possibly can.
Then go and spread the word.
Thank you. From the bottom of my heart.
You don't need to thank me. I'm always with you. And as you blink, and again, this burning hot light that emanates from Lathander at all times, this glowing, radiant energy just burns out of them at all times. What's everyone doing with Viorica's body?
What sort of...
What is everyone doing?
What is it? What state does he look like he's in? Does he look like he's dead and a bit mangled, or
no? The wound that was covered up by the paint is revealed once more, where he was psychically blasted apart. He is definitely dying in a lot of pain, but also unconscious. And as far as you are aware, from what Abernathy did, is stable.
Well, we need to go and get Diamond then, don't we?
He is stable. He is stable. Healing magic would do it.
We gotta find it.
Well, let me just try this first, then I'll cast Cure Wounds at second level.
You do. And no need to roll, Steve. It's fine. Viorica's alive. There's no need for hit points.
Oh, fine. Cool.
And as you cast into him with your paint effects once again, Viorica wakes up.
Again?
Oh God! Why does this keep happening? Oh! Who brought me back this time?
The paint is gone, but you're still there. Look! And I let the rain.
God.
Ball on Biorka.
Yeah, he's properly healed now.
Well, so I need to go outside in order for this to be proved. But then I'm just going to start dancing around in the rain and doing singing in the rain, like splashing in puddles and stuff.
Oh, nice.
And then when I think that Biorka's had his fun, I'll cast Prestidigitation and get him clean again, and just be like, no. And it's like, and that's the first time you've been clean in about 3 days.
Ah, well, everything's back to normal. No, that's not true. All right, thank you. And thank you, whoever it was that brought me back. Seems to be...
Alethra is going to turn to you, Lilith, and go, should we go home?
Yes, please.
And let's take anyone who wants to come with us.
Hooray!
We have an extra
God.
place next to doors, the house. We have the extra place.
There's plenty of space.
Want to?
Ashakti, are you going to go with your sister, or are you going to go with everyone else?
Oh, I'm gonna say, Rads, do you want to come see the shop where I work at? That is my proper job. That I'm still got my job, right, Mr. Whispocket?
Absolutely. You're my partner now.
I'm a partner in a shop now. Do you want to see?
Myrtle raises an eyebrow.
I'll talk to you about that later. I'll just
be careful with the word partners, darling. Careful with the word partners.
Just as long as I get paid, I don't really mind. Sorry.
Apologise.
Sorry.
So you and Radhika are going with Abernathy and Myrtle.
Oh, and I introduced everyone as well, and I'm like...
Yeah. There's introductions all around. That's totally fine.
Good lady.
Don't worry, he does that.
So I assume, therefore, that the Lilith, Cohen, and Viorica are all going with everyone back to House Tillerton.
Is Cohen going?
Yeah, we have to be escorted. Like, legally speaking, we need to be escorted to a safe place right now. We can't just wander off, can we?
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, cool. Then I will... I'd probably go to Bloomridge, if that's an option.
Okay, in which case you go with Abernathy and with
that lot.
Yeah, the Shakti. Okay, so Lilith and Viorica and Lilith's fiancés peel off and head towards the upper city, and the three of you heading towards Bloomridge.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Holding Myrtle's hand.
See you I'll. And then I'm suddenly like, I don't know when else or how I'll.
There'll be a wedding at some point. Don't worry.
No, I meant.
I meant mine.
No, I meant see you tomorrow. But anyway, maybe guess not. Maybe
I meant in
have
case
to wait
you
until the
were
wedding.
Worried.
I was worried. I'm worried. It's fine. Maybe before the wedding or just whatever. If you.
I need a maid of honor, don't I?
You probably have.
Certainly someone to sing.
What? Oh my god! Oh, I couldn't possibly. Oh my lord! And
No,
goes
you
into
could.
Do you split off and go your separate ways?
Yeah.
Cool.
Later.
That's where we'll pick up for the finale next week.
What?
Yeah. That's where we will dive back in at the bitter sweet end. Because we're not done, people. We're close. We're not done.
Oh, you're evil, Chris.
What have we forgotten?
Don't worry. I have a lot of loose ends to tie up, and there's some loose ends to tie up, and there's some nice character moments to have before we say goodbye to these characters for the time being. So join us for that next week. Thank you, everyone, for joining us today. If you enjoyed tonight, we are playing next Monday, and that is the finale of Baldur's Gate Frame. So join us there for that. That will be next Monday, 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. GMT, although there is currently hour shifts going on, so do check in with us on Twitter about what time we'll actually be starting, because I get confused about the time shifts, and I'm sure everyone else does as well. It's true. If you enjoyed tonight, we are also going to be starting a new campaign after the end of this one. We'll have 1 week off, and then we will dive straight back in with my person who I run the company with, co-director, I mean, technically she's the COO and I'm the CEO, but Chloe Mashita will be Chloe, the brilliant Chloe, who also does all of the tech setup for all of this, with help from some excellent other people, including Emma and G and people like that. So lots of thanks there, and Charmony. We are going to be starting a new campaign based in Eberron. It'll be a shortish campaign, probably running for about 4 weeks, and be quite an action-packed Eberron-based campaign that Chloe's going to be running. And then after that, we'll have something new to announce very soon, which I can't talk about yet. But yes, that will also be played in this style with the separate cameras until we are back in a studio setting, which we hope to be as soon as possible. But in the meantime, we'll keep streaming like this to keep bringing you all the stories we possibly can for as much time as possible. We have other games on our YouTube channel and occasionally streamed on Twitch for the premiere, where we run Star Trek Adventures games. We have a John Carter of Mars mini adventure. You can watch all of them on YouTube, or there'll be some launching on Twitch over the next couple of weeks. Some of those will also be played like this. Some we managed to record before we got to this point of self-isolation. So we'll see some groupings, but mostly recorded in this fashion from them. So yes, that's what we've got coming up. Do follow us on social media. Our Twitter is Adventurers250. Everywhere else, including Instagram, we are Adventurers Wanted. We also have a Patreon. Do join us there to patronize us and to help us keep doing things in the way that we're doing them, or back in our studio when we get to that point. And again, a massive thank you to D&D Beyond and Ultra Pro. And if you want to win this little monstrosity, then join us in the Twitch chat for the last 30 seconds now to be in with a chance to win it. UK addresses only, please. Right, I think that's it for everyone. Thank you very much, and see you next week for the grand finale. Bye, everybody.
Bye. Hooray!